Hello, everybody. Hi, and welcome. Boom. Thank you so much. What a rousing round of applause tonight. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fistivities. I'm trying to get it right. Episode 81 tonight. We have Matt Brown on, and he is, like, if you look OG, if you look up school fighter, if you look up just badass, tough ass, like tough as nails, gritty, like dude everybody likes, that's Matt Brown. So excited to have him on. Well, obviously we haven't had him on the show before, but I really haven't spent like that much one-on-one time with Matt. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know obviously it's not one-on-one because Renato will be here maybe. As you can see, he is not here now. The show is Fistivities with KB and Renato Laranja. I'm KB, Karyn Bryant. I'm here on time. Renato Laranja is not. He is Brazilian. He is often on Brazilian time, which for those who don't know, really could mean a lot of things from when it just rarely means on time. Let's just put it that way. But it's okay because we got a lot going on and it doesn't matter. And we got folks here already. And yeah, so whatever. Even when Renato isn't here yet, we have a lot going on and there's a lot to catch up on and there's a lot to talk about what we are going to be doing tonight. And so I'll give you guys a couple more minutes here. I need a sip of something to give you guys a little bit more time to, get on here. I ate like a grape. You know when you eat something that has, oh no, it wasn't a grape. It was a dried apricot. It had when things have like a little skin and then sometimes you feel, you're like, do I have like some weird thing in my teeth? So I do, that is a concern I have, is stuff in my teeth whenever I'm on the air and that kind of stuff. But at any rate, let me tell you what is going on the show tonight. We have got a hit list for you, and that way I can tell you everything that's coming up. So we are going to have Matt Brown on. He is fighting at UFC Charlotte. He's fighting Court McGee. So we'll talk to him about that. And I don't know if you guys know, he plays guitar. He's into sort of hard rock and heavy metal and stuff. And maybe people don't know, maybe you guys don't know. My brother actually is a guitar player. So I grew up listening to a lot of that stuff. So I actually know more than you might imagine. And I'm looking at it right now across the room. It's just show and tell, which is a whole other idea I had for a whole other show, which is show and tell with KB. But I have one of Lars Ulrich's drumsticks from Metallica. Metallica used to come around all the time when I was a VJ at MTV. So I get to talk some Metallica stories and stuff like that. But anyway, we will talk with Matt Brown. Very excited about that. We will go over what happened this past weekend at UFC Vegas 72 with Song Yadong getting the win over Ricky Simone. I've known Song Yadong for over 10 years, so very excited for him. Nothing against Ricky, but I was very, very excited for Yadong, and I know that fight with Corey was tough for him. He's just such a good dude, and I was happy for him to get that win. So we'll talk about that, and we'll also talk about what happened at Bare Knuckle with Mike Perry taking out Luke Rockhold, the whole tooth thing, so we'll talk about that. We have Chidi's Choice for this weekend with Triple C coming back against Aljamain Sterling. So we have Chidi, the Bearded Dragon Lizard. For those who don't know, he does predictions for the fights, and he has a winning record, and he will give you guys his pick for Cejudo versus Aljo. Also, then we will talk more about UFC 288 coming up. And also, there's a one championship show this week and on Friday with Demetrius Johnson, and it may be his last fight, so we will talk about that. And then also, obviously, there's always questions and things that if you guys want to get to, we can get to some of that stuff as well. But yeah, it's pretty wild. And so that reminds me of a couple of things that I wanted to show or remind you guys here is that I actually did an interview with Chatri. So if you guys look, this is what the thumbnail looks like. So I'm just showing you. It's a half hour long. So if you wanted to know anything about one championship, if you wanted to know anything about this particular event, sort of the philosophy of one championship. And also Chatri and I, I'm from New England, but I went to Brown, and I went to Brown, which is in Rhode Island. Chatri is Thai and lives in Singapore now, but he actually went to Harvard, which is in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and tells this incredible story of how he was there when he had no money. His mom was living with him in the dorm. It's really phenomenal. I cannot imagine being in college and having my mom in the dorm with me. The story is so phenomenal. So we talk all about that. Just the difference between sort of the philosophy of one championship and other things. Anyway, it's really cool. He's just a cool guy. I've been wanting to talk to him for quite some time and finally was able to. So please check that out. That's an interview with Chatri. And One Championship, of course, is on Friday. They're in Denver. Mighty Mouse is fighting, and Mighty Mouse has said it might be his last fight. So yeah, you really want to check it. Well, thank you to Bali TG. Thank you saying you watched the interview earlier, and it was great. Thank you so much. Good evening, Daedalus. Good evening, Stobbs. Nice to see you. How are you? Hi, Mulatto Vanguard. How are you? It's great to see you as well. KZ Crimson, what up? Boogeyman saying, oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Maybe it's the lipstick. I put a little extra lipstick on today. I don't know. What color are the toes? They are, I'm very flexible. Pink. Okay. I don't know. We have foot people on the site here. Uh-oh. That's a whole other story. Hold on a second here. I dropped the studio audience. Okay. So a couple of things I see, Renato should be here any second here. Let me text him. Let's see. Okay. So a couple of things I did want to ask you guys about. In terms of the news, or a couple things I wanted to mention. Bryce Mitchell, unfortunately, is out of his fight this weekend. He was supposed to be fighting Movsar Evloev on UFC 288, and that just happened today that Bryce Mitchell dropped out. So now there's a new guy in Diego Lopez is fighting. And if you guys saw the post show the other night on ESPN Plus, which hopefully you guys tune into that, I was working with Chiesa and Alan Joban, and we were talking about Bryce and what could be next for him if he got the win. We knew it was going to be a tough fight. But anyway, Bryce isn't fighting. So it's a bummer. He was already in some of the embedded episodes. And no, episode 1, you see him in there. So hopefully it's nothing serious. I don't know what happened with that. But it is a bummer. Was looking forward to seeing Bryce Thug Nasty back in action. Although maybe he'll write a rap about it. He's a pretty good rapper. We're going to have him on there. And I also want to know, we can get into this a little bit later. And actually, maybe I'll just bring him on now. And we'll make Renato be the one who isn't here yet, because he's on time now. And this is in the welterweight division. So I'm going to do this. How about this, folks? We're just going to do this because he's here and he's on time. He is an OG badass of the UFC. He's a man that I have, followed his career for quite some time, and I'm just such a fan and really excited to have him on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, why don't you please join me in welcoming Mr. Matt Brown to the show. Hey, how are you?
Well, thank you very much. That was a very kind intro.
I just think you're great, and I feel like that's kind of a universal take on you. Like, who doesn't like Matt Brown?
I like Matt Brown, so yeah, I agree.
I agree, right? Exactly. Yeah. You know what? Could Matt Brown sit a little closer to the camera, maybe, or it's just like we have light on one side of your face. We could maybe use a little more on the other side.
Oh, you mean turn on the light on the other side?
If you could even it out. It's a chiaroscuro effect, which is pretty cool. Which for those who have never taken art history, that's the interplay of light and dark and the interplay of shadows and things like that. Chiaroscuro. I believe it's probably an Italian word.
Cameras and lighting is definitely not my forte.
Perfect. No, that's so much better. That's perfect. Okay. See, that way everybody can see the full man, the Matt Brown that we know and love. Hey, look you just got here, and it turns out somebody must have been feeling the vibe, and somebody didn't want to get upstaged, but it's too bad because he already did. But ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome my co-host. Seeing the guest is already here, but now let me welcome in the co-host. He is tardy, but nevertheless, he is a 27-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Renato Laranja.
Look at the smile. Like I bring him back to being a kid again. I make him feel young again, Porha. Look at that one.
It's a full house now. Hi, how are you, Hanach?
I've never been better. I mean, look at me, Porha. Yeah, you understand? I mean, look, Matt Brown. I was put. You know how much aloe vera I had to put on today to get ready for you.
You're looking good, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, you guys actually know each other. Is that correct?
We go way back, Porha. We go way back. We go back to his days, to the salad days, I call that one, because we used to work at the salad dressing plant together.
Okay.
Now, I remember, my brother, before he made it in the MMA scene, he was a salad dressing technician for Marzach. And I'm not kidding, and he's single-handedly responsible for me never wanting to buy commercial salad dressing ever fucking again in my life.
You know what I made was, like Chick-fil-A sauce.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Before I didn't even know what the fuck Chick-fil-A was. And I was making this sauce because like it wasn't a business. I mean, I guess it was a business, but it was a very, very small business at the time. And I was like, what is this Chick-fil-A stuff? And I was making the packages for that sauce.
What's it made out of, Porha?
I'm confused.
Like, you don't want to know that.
Like, I'm confused.
Don't
Back
be.
it up.
Yeah.
You worked at you legitimately you are good at making salad. Like, what is happening? What is happening?
T. Marzetti, the salad dressing company.
Okay.
I worked there at the plant. But I worked on the machines that make the salad dressing.
Gotcha.
The packaging and all this.
Gotcha.
You notice he said plant. He didn't say like, oh, in our artisan kitchen or whatever. It's like it might as well be a fucking chemical plant where they got guys that look like they march slaving over a fucking vat of a disgusting salad oil. Dude, and sweating bullets into that one. Ugh.
Dude, that's exactly it. That they would be sweating because they were upstairs because the salad dressing would come down into the machine. So they're upstairs, no air conditioning, 120 degrees, just pouring sweat into the freaking salad dressing.
Maybe that gave it that zest, the extra zest, that Zinio, Ohio minerals and.
He gave me the Mexican blood because they were all Mexicans. So
for real?
Power of the Mexicans.
Oh, la raza. But it also have the 7 deadly herbs and seasonings or whatever. What's the secret they put in there?
The sweat. That's the secret.
The sweat.
Aside from that, it got some oregano or something at least.
I don't know what oregano is, but yeah.
Did you put any of the spice in there, like a spice bag or something?
No. I worked on the machines, but.
Some oil detail.
Oh God. Just, I don't know. Hey, listen, Daedalus is saying good evening to all of us. He doesn't know anybody that doesn't love Matt. I agree with that. I think, Hanato, you froze up again, but you got the stink face on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, let's try. I'm going to in the background.
Matt, it's only episode 81 of our show. And by now, I would have thought Hanato had learned how it works. But apparently, he's still in the favela.
He needed to reset his router.
I think that's right. I think he does need to reset his router. Oh, there you are. Hi, Hanach.
Yeah, pipe down over there. You know how many fucking stuffs you already did and messed up this whole programming here?
What did I do?
Where was I? Okay. Wait, what?
So we were talking salad dressing, but we should really talk fights.
Well, I think everybody heard a lot about fights, but they didn't know about his salad dressing.
You're right.
That's where it all started. My first fight, it was my second fight. I still remember to this day because I got my ass kicked. It was so it's kind of a funny story. It's a San Shao match, and I didn't know what San Shao was. I thought it was kickboxing. So going into the fight, and the guy takes me down straight away. I was like, I look at the ref like, what the fuck's he doing? Like, he can't take me down, right? And then so I square back up, takes me down again. I'm looking at the ref like, what? Are you serious? And so I come back the third time, and I just drop my hands. I'm like, well, I guess we're wrestling in boxing gloves.
Right.
And then he kicks me in the head. I was like, what are we doing here, bro? So anyway, I got my ass kicked for a few rounds, and I had to go to Marzetti and work third shift that night with 2 black eyes, bloody, puffed up lips. Like, that is depressing.
This have to be like if we. I'm gonna call it right now. When I produce the movie of your life, it's gonna be like Hockey Balboa, but you know he was hitting the meat, the size of beef. You're gonna be in there
with his tears and sweat.
Oh, you're good, man.
Everything is a fucking bum.
I can
It's like salt
that I had. So,
well, I like Marzak.
Well, so yeah, how much longer did you like? So you literally is that like you started your fight career while you were working there? Like how did you become full-time fighter?
Well, I started before I worked there. That second fight. My first one, I just signed up. I was just on cocaine and like I was just wanting to fight. So that was.
Well,
I mean, that'll do it.
It happens, right?
That'll fucking do it. Working at Marzak and then being on fucking cocaine. That's a hell of a combination.
Yeah, hell yeah, we're all fighting.
Okay, so I guess if you want to go over the whole story. So,
why not?
Marzetti was actually my first real job that I had post drug use. So, but my first fight, it was before there was commissions and stuff. So it was like what you see on the movies, you know, where it's like a guy's gambling and, you know, anybody sign up to fight and who wants to fight the champion? And get a line in the bathroom like 5 minutes before. And I was like, I'll fight that son of a bitch. Let's go. I had to run across the street to buy a cup. There was like a sporting goods store over there. And then I had to buy a mouthpiece. And there was a restaurant across the street. So I had to use their microwave to boil and bite the mouthpiece. Come back. And I fought like 10 minutes later and I beat the guy's ass. So that was my first experience.
Amazing.
And then I decided, okay, I'm going to, that was before I lived in Columbus, Ohio. So I moved to Columbus. So I'm going to change my life. I'm going to find a fight gym, dedicate my life to this. And 2 weeks after I walked into this fight gym, I was fighting in a sand shout match. So like literally the first day I walked in there, they're like, hey, you want to fight in 2 weeks? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
They set you up for failure in that situation, Karyn.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Wow.
But yeah, anyway.
But obviously you stuck with it though. So was it something that you felt like you finally found the right way to express yourself? You finally found the right outlet? Like what was it about it that connected with you?
Absolutely. Everything about it connected with me. So like I come from an extremely small town, 100 people live in town, literally.
Oh my God.
If you go on Wikipedia, as of today, I think the last time I looked, it said 197 people was the population. No stoplights, nothing. So, you know, the big
Karyn,
town, there was
like, wait, real quick, Karyn, you ever seen the movie Gamo?
So
Gummo?
that was filmed.
I don't think
I've never seen it, but that movie was filmed like 20 minutes from my home.
You still didn't fucking saw Gummo? That was your homework last time.
Yeah.
And that was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we? Yeah.
How you not gonna? That's the story of your life. That's the most important film of your life.
Yeah, no, I keep forgetting all about it. You know, I'm not a big.
So it's a no stop sign town, no street light town.
Yeah. So anyway, so I moved to Columbus to get away from all the drugs, alcohol, partying, and all this. Found a gym straight away, and literally the day I walked in, I've said to this day, like I married the sport. I'm a faithful spouse, and I'm doing this to the day I die. And I knew that the day that I walked in, I was like, love at first sight. Like, there's nothing else I want to do with my life. And I'm going to die on the mats one day, whether that's in an octagon or whether that's in a gym, or that's where I plan on dying. And that's where I want to be buried, right there.
Well, I'm going to bury you in the Marzak factory. I mean, we're going to put you like a burial at sea. We're going to dunk you hide in the fucking oil, in the Tuscan fucking vinaigrette.
No. But, you know, I got to ask because, you know, a lot of people who do drugs like are like the idea of living on the edge, for lack of better words, right? Like, and so is there a parallel between that and the fighting? Like, was it a good replacement for you? Because like, I don't, you know, maybe we should need to back up for people don't understand like why you're called the Immortal, because you were technically dead at one point, right?
Yeah. Overdosed on heroin. And, I guess it kind of depends on how deep you want to get into it. You know, like there's it's kind of a long story, you know?
Right. We don't need to, I really, it's just for me, it's such an incredible thing to have overcome it. And I mean, what do you think, Renato? It's just
I,
wild.
I say if there's a piece of it that you feel might in
Right.
some way, instead of just titillate people, if there might be some piece of it that could potentially help somebody, maybe
Right.
just focus on that part, you know?
Because
Yeah,
I
that's
guess for me the question is like I feel like did you replace the addiction to the heroin with an addiction to fighting or something like that?
There's absolutely some of that, but
Yeah.
the one thing a lot of people don't know about my story is I wasn't ever. I'm not an addict at heart. Like I'm not. I've seen the disease. Like Mark Coleman, one of my good friends.
Yeah.
You know, he has the disease. Like if he touches alcohol, the game's over, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Smells it. Like I could drink.
He's been sober for like a year and a half now though.
2 years now. Just celebrated 2 years.
Nice.
More power to
Yep.
Coleman, the Hammer. But I'm not an addict at heart, right? So I have a addictive personality, but I don't have the disease.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a very, very different thing. And I didn't even realize that until later in life. So I don't, to me, I hope that my story can help inspire people, but I don't really play on it. Like I'm fighting a guy that really plays it up. And I'm not saying plays it up as like in a bad way.
No, but it's part of his story. Yeah.
Court McGee, for those who don't know.
Yeah, the same story, right?
Yeah.
But for me, like that was literally a different person. Like I can't even imagine myself in doing what I did back then. Like it's such a different. It's literally like I lived a different life.
Yeah.
Like even my memories of it, I'm like I can't believe that this is me remembering myself doing this. Like I'm such a different person. So, and I'm also just that kind of person. I'm always looking towards the next thing. I never stop like working for tomorrow, right? I don't think about yesterday. I don't give a shit what happened, right? Lose a fight, like you wake up tomorrow, like let's go for the next one, motherfucker. Let's go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hold on one second, because I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my dog is on the fucking couch sawing logs over here. She's like, and I gotta fucking take her to the bedroom, because if I hear this shit on the playback, I'm gonna be upset. Okay, I'll be back.
I didn't hear that. You know, and that's incredible that you were able to distance yourself from that, right? Because I've had friends in 12-step programs who, you know, every day it's still a reminder, like every day they still have to think about it and process, I'm not going to have a drink today or something. So that's a real testament, I guess, to personal strength that you don't think about it. Or
no, you know what it was is well, again, first, I don't have the disease, right? So it's easier for me than for others, right? So
sure.
So those that come to me for advice when they have the disease, I'm like, you know, I can give you my story and everything, but like you're probably gonna need someone more powerful than me, like Mark Coleman.
Right, because you just like doing it. It wasn't that it was an addiction.
Yeah,
I tried to tell Karyn Bryant that I don't have the disease, but she still is afraid to, you know, to touch my Johnson or to go near that one. But
not going anywhere close.
I've told her I'm not liking Mark Coleman for her. I am the hammer, though. I am the it's hammer chiming when you know.
He's a nice man.
Listen, fucking speaking of Mark Coleman, real quick, when he was on his hunt in the beginning of the UFC, that was about the scariest fucking. I have nightmares about that guy. Like I remember thinking, what do I do if I had to try to fight? You know, because you want to kid yourself and think, if he came at me, I would get him with the cord of blood, check me, whatever. And then I just said, what the fuck would I do if he wanted to attack me? He was so fucking. He was terrifying.
You know the scariest thing?
Huh?
He's 56, 57 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Had 2 hip surgeries, 2 hip replacements, went septic 3 or 4 times. That's part of what got him addicted to all this stuff. 10 years, no training, drunk to almost his death. Like he was literally on his death. He comes back in the gym. You know, I get him back into training. He's having a good time. When that dude grabs you, you've never felt strength like that in your fucking life, bro.
It's crazy.
I can only imagine.
56, 57 years old, no training for 10 years. And when this dude hits the pad, you're like, bro, what are you doing? Like you got to get back in there.
My goodness. He was one of the greatest he was the first one of his ilk, like that guy, like that. He was a hacking ball.
I'm
You know
so
what I mean?
glad he's doing well. I'm just so glad.
Yeah, me too. Because it could have been a, you see a lot of these stories turn the
Yeah.
other way.
Yeah, no,
Most
I
of
met
them.
him. I met him when I was working, on like the doing commentary with Elite XC. I remember hanging out with him and Morrow and Frank and all those guys and Mark. And I remember just sitting there in a hotel room one time when he's telling stories, and I was like, "Oh my god," like it's
Imagine the
just
fucking stories that guy has.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
back.
But yeah, so you're saying you're not that guy. It was just something you like doing, and you were able to kind of put it away and now refocus in something else, which is pretty great.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we could get real deep into it, but I just didn't have a passion. I didn't have a desire for life. Coming from a small town, I didn't know that there was a big world out there. I didn't know that there was opportunities in life. And when I found fighting, there was just no looking back. I was like, this is what I was fucking born to do. This is what I'm going for. And I went for it, and I've been going for it. I'm still going for it. And, so now, again, when I look back at that time in my life, it seems like I'm looking at a different person. And a lot of people ask me like stories and stuff. And a lot of times I don't even remember, or people will tell me stories, people from back in the day. And I'm like, bro, I fucking did that. God, I'm an idiot.
Wow.
But,
yeah.
I guess it makes for a good story, but I try not to, I personally like it to use it to inspire people, but I don't try to like hype it up and use it for like, oh, I overcame this and that. Cause I didn't overcome what so many other people have overcome, like Coleman or even Court McGee, like he overcame.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like they still battling it to this
It's a
day.
battle,
Whereas
right?
you
Yeah.
left that chapter in the past.
I left it in the past, man.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
But that's also the kind of person I am. Like because the way that I did it, and I can't relate to people that don't have the disease, right? But the way that I did it was I just started saying to myself every day, I brainwashed my own mind. Like, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter, and I was talking about, I'm gonna be a UFC fighter. Literally the first day that I walked into the gym. Now owning a gym, those people that walk in talking like, I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Get out of my gym, right? But I was that guy. I walked in like, no, I'm going to the UFC, bro. Like, what are you gonna do?
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Oh, you remember those days? Everybody, I want to fight NHB, brother. I've had over 1,000 street fights.
Yeah, that was me. 100%.
Yeah.
That was me.
Wow.
But I manifested it. I just kept saying it to myself over and over, day in, day out. I went to bed dreaming about it. I could tell you stories about girlfriends back in the day that I would punch sleep accidentally. Like
I did that shit too. Yeah, I used to do that too.
Yeah, or choke them. Right.
Well, I never did that one, but I used to have fight dreams. And I would start swinging. I would start vocalizing, and then it got to the point where and one time I almost broke my hand because I just punched like overhand high, boom. But she could tell because it was always a fight, like a street fight situation. And it was like, what the fuck you just said? And eventually she learned. As soon as I started arguing with somebody in the dream, she just wake me up. Get up.
That's great.
Yeah, and it stopped. It just stopped out of nowhere. It was like a full year of that, I remember. Then it just stopped. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
I have one girl. I bloodied her nose. I elbowed her in my sleep, and is what it is. But she just stopped sleeping in the same bed. She's like, I ain't doing this shit.
It's scary because imagine you accidentally killed somebody and you really didn't mean it, but you did it. Imagine this. What you're gonna tell the jury? Like, hey, I was just sleeping.
Hey, what do you mean do?
That's gonna go over like a lead balloon.
You'll die on the mats and stuff. But so you obviously have a fight coming up with Court McGee. I don't know. You are still at it, but you don't fight as frequently, obviously, as you once did. So what is your kind of take on how much more you plan to stay in the UFC and like how active you want to stay in terms of MMA fighting? Because I know a lot of people, after their pro fighting careers ends, they, just do jiu-jitsu or, compete in submission grappling and that kind of stuff.
That's a tough question, to be honest. It's just going to come down to the injuries, right? Like I'm pretty much perpetually injured at this point. And, like I've said for a long time, we can do it till the wheels fall off. A lot of people say that shit, but, my wheels are still on, so I'm still going. And
I like that.
I love that phrase too. I really do.
Yeah, till the fucking wheels fall off. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't, like, once I'm done with this, I have tons of other things that I can do. Like I've been building tons of things over the years. I have 4 businesses right now, I think. Like, Yeah, like I got all kinds of shit going on, like so many things I can do. And
Well,
not to toot my own horn, but like I'm a smart guy. Like I learn things like that. I can build businesses easily. I have lots of options. So it's going to come down to like one day I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm not going to do this for money no more. But I'm gonna stay on the mats always.
well, you never brought your Uncle Hanachi into any of these business.
Well,
You want to be an investor? I'm always looking for
an investor. I would be what's the one where you don't invest but you take some of the profits?
Yeah, it was just
you
have to give a social security number.
I got sweat equity you can do too.
Exactly.
You got that in the Marzach. There's a lot of sweat still around in some of those bottles.
You might have some of that in you too if you've ever.
I might have some of that. Oh, God, on you.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I could get involved in some of those business. Do you see yourself ever like going back and dipping your toe back into the salad dressing game, or is that chapter of your life closed forever?
Hey, whatever makes money, I'm down.
I like that.
What are your other businesses then?
You
have the gym, we know.
I have a gym, I have a coffee company.
That's right.
I have an Airbnb business now. I own 2 Airbnbs, working on the 3rd.
Okay.
And then what is the 4th? Maybe there's 3.
Oh, Carayo, we caught you.
In development. Well, I know like Cub Swanson has some Airbnbs out in Palm Springs and stuff like that. That's a pretty good investment and stuff. So, yeah. I am curious, and what do you make of the actual fight with Court? I mean, what's cool about this fight is, and I say this respectfully, is that it's OG versus OG, right? Like, because sometimes you see fights like how the way they gave Shogun on his last fight, like gave him that young guy.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Come on, man. Come on.
They should never. They should never do that. They should never fucking do that.
And so, like over on Fight Island.
The reason I forgot number 4 is because I have. I'm sorry, I'm changing the subject. Is because it's in the process of being built right now.
Okay.
We're working on a diet and meal prep company.
Oh, very cool. Oh, very cool. That's a good idea. Yeah. Those are very good.
Kind of a small thing right now, but my meal prep guy just makes the best food I've ever had in my damn life. And then I have my own nutritionist, and he's been working with all these people. And I was like, dude, why don't we make a fucking business out of this? It should be a local thing. Doesn't have to be gigantic or anything. But anyway. So
I was going to say, send it. My mom, she watches this. She needs a meal prep. She's in Florida though, so I got to find somebody in Florida to do meal prep.
We're going to do it local because we're going to keep it fresh, and we're going to make it the best food. I mean, it's so freaking good. Like I don't even want to come off my meal prep. Like, you know what I mean? Like most people they do meal prep for like Trifecta used to sponsor us, and like I'd give those to my kids. Like I would order, 20 times as much as I would eat, and I'd put them in the freezer, and anytime my kids be whining for food, like go get you a fucking meal. I don't want that, because it's garbage. It tastes like crap. So we made a good one.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. We'll go.
Am I messed up or am I frozen again?
Actually, yes, you are frozen. I just noticed that. Yes, you are frozen.
Because you guys disappeared, and then I'm like, but I look fine. But I know that's a bad omen. I'm like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah, you're back. You're back. A little jittery, but you're back.
Okay.
You're a little okay. There you go. But yeah, so they like when we were over in Fight Island, Court fought Carlos Condit, which was perfect. Like it seemed like same type of thing, right? So was that something like, did you ask to fight Court? Did they try to give you like these young guns? Because that's the thing that happens a lot of time now. It's young guy versus veteran.
Yeah, I mean, I fought Miguel Beza a couple fights ago, and it's like it is what it is. But I'm not against that. Like I don't ever ask for anyone or say no to anyone. I just say, put me an opponent. This is about around the time, a date that I'll be ready, and let's go. Let's have. I think I've asked a couple of times. Like I asked for Carlos, that because I knew he was on his way out, and
we wanted to see that too so bad. Like that would have been amazing.
Yeah, it's just too bad it wasn't, no fans over on Fight Island. It's so stupid. Yeah. But not stupid, but I get why they did. But I didn't ask for Court. They offered, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, but you're in a different spot. We're talking about a guy that they sending out to pasture. Like they knew it's his last fight. Like, come on, don't give him some stud. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's the UFC. This isn't, That's the way I see it. It's like if I can't fight the young guy, then I shouldn't even be in here anyway, right? We're in the UFC.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be in the Super Bowl. Like it's supposed to be everyone against everyone, right? We're all fucking lions fighting for that top bread. And if you can't compete with the others, then you need to just walk away.
But it's like if Gene Hackman, you know, like if in his last movie somebody just kicked the dog shit out of him, you know what I mean? It's like let us have one last one, you know.
No, but to his point though, to Matt's point, like if he can't hang with the young guys, he shouldn't be there anymore. So until you can't hang,
but it's like a tribute.
I know what you mean. But for me, when you know it's the guy's last fight and they throw him a young gun, I feel bad.
Yeah, like they did Frankie Edgar.
Yeah,
that shit is sad. Oh,
it hurts.
I mean, believe me,
it's sad.
I don't like seeing it either, but you know, I don't want to see it happen to me either. Like Miguel Beza knocked me out, you know, not actually, like the ref shouldn't even have stopped the fight. It was some bullshit, but you know, it's like I almost knocked him out too, you know. So it is what it is.
True.
You know, like I could compete with him, you know, like I'd love to fight him tomorrow, you know, but it's like, you know, if you can't go in with those guys, then you know, find a different job. Like, you don't have
listen.
to
The UFC's loss is a salad dressing game.
Oh my god! Do you have a favorite?
Wait, it's just us. Is that? Am I seeing things?
Here, I hit the wrong button. I was just trying to like double check something, and then okay. So
at least mine is because you know you self-imposed.
No,
error.
I was looking
the unforced error.
It is an unforced error. It is an unforced error. No, but I was going to say, do you have a favorite fight in the UFC? Do you have one? Like, because I like to ask this of people, like, if somebody didn't know who you were and I had to explain who Matt Brown was in 3 fights or 2 fights, like, which ones should I show them?
If you were going to show 3, I would say Eric Silva, Wonder Boy, and Robbie Lawler.
Okay.
I put for some reason the Eric Silva one stick out of my mind because I remember thinking this kid is gonna be like one of the next big thing. And I remember I was watching it, like I think it was at like a pizza place in fucking Huntington Beach or something like that, like a pizza beer kind of. Right. And I remember like all these people was jazzed up about Eric Silva.
Everybody was fired up about it.
And you just kept on fucking just dunking him into the fucking water. And I was just like, wow, he won't give this kid a fucking break, you know? Yeah. And I never forget that. I go, wow, you can't fuck around with them.
Forget about that shit. That was pre-USADA era. That was a different world back then. I wasn't on juice.
Yeah. Are you suggest that he was on anything less than fruits and veg?
He was on the really good fruits and veggies. You know?
Wow, the organic one, Karyn. Or the GMO, Karyn. Wow. That's okay. Wow.
It was a different world back then. You didn't really know what you were getting into every fight.
Yeah, no, it's true. When did you discover you were awesome at elbows? Like, because I feel like there's sometimes like maybe sometimes people realize they're really good at something. Like, was that something that you practiced and you got good at it, or was it something that you naturally were great at because it's so effective?
I'm fortunate that one of my longtime coaches. So when I was telling the story about the first day I walked into a martial arts gym, one of the guys that was there, his name's Dorian Price. He's been my long-term coach since then, and he's lived over in Thailand on and off. Comes back from my camps. So he fought over in Lumpini. He was on Ultimate Fighter 6 or 5 or something.
Which guy?
His name's Dorian Price, and
he
fought over in Lumpini Stadium. Lived with the Thais over there for a long time. And he brought it all back to me. And he would always ask me, he said, why would you want to hit somebody with something soft, with a padded glove, when you have something hard right here that's rock hard? And I was like,
I tried to tell her about that. She does never. I offer her something rock hard, and she's look at it like
soft.
Yeah, and I'm like, what kind of sense? Anyway, but back to the stuff. Unbelievable.
I don't know where to go with that.
Well, neither does she, but okay. So yeah, Lumpini Stadium, the elbows is hard.
So he brought the technique back from Thailand, basically. Yeah. and got and indoctrinated you with it pretty early on. Then obviously.
So Dorian has been a huge elbow guy for a long time. The only reason he even fought MMA was because in Ohio we couldn't elbow in Muay Thai. So he was like, well, I'll just fight MMA then when I'm in Ohio.
That's smart.
That's the way to do it, Paul.
Right. Yeah, he ended up actually getting a purple belt, and most of his wins were by submission. I mean, he's a savage.
Oh, nice. Well, and actually, on a side note, this weekend on Friday in ONE FC, ONE Championship, they're gonna allow knees to a downed opponent in Denver. They're having the fight in Denver, and I guess the boxing commission, the ABC is like kind of bummed about that. But I literally did this whole interview with Chatri, and I was going to get into this later, but like that was one of the reasons I was like, hey, why'd you guys choose Denver? Was it like because where the UFC started too, and like it's symbolic since it's one's first show here? And they were like, yeah, that's part of it, but also they were going to let us do stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That other people weren't going to do. So like they were like, yeah, bring it.
They probably didn't even remember the fact that it was the first one. They was like, oh yeah, that's why. The first UFC. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Those are solid. Those are 3 solid fights, though, Eric. Yeah, I mean, damn, Robbie Lawler.
What do you think about that? They should allow that now.
I made a tweet the other day. I was just saying, my dream, maybe one day when I'm done fighting, is to have a promotion that back to the old NHB rules, and no cage, no rings. You don't need all that bullshit. It's ridiculous. And a fair fight, headbutts. But it's got to be a fair fight. No eye pokes, no biting.
No eye pokes, no fish hook, all that stuff. Yeah. But
no groin kicks,
and then
right?
The downward elbow and kick. Right. Yeah, everything should. Yeah.
Bare knuckle. I think it was because I was watching the bare knuckle, right? And I was like, dude, like we need like bare knuckle MMA, and you need to be able to headbutt and kick to a down opponent, stomp their face, like elbow, let's do it.
Would you do bare knuckle fighting yourself? Yeah.
It's just boxing. Right. If it was MMA, maybe, but
how about just bare knuckle Muay Thai?
Oh, I'd love to do that, but there's no money in it, you're just.
No, I know, but imagine if BKFC could branch out, because that would be interesting for her.
Yeah, if they called me, well, I talked to them a little bit, but my first thought was, can we throw elbows too?
Yeah,
you're right.
But Karyn Bryant, it's funny you say that would be brutal, but aside, what would be more brutal than what they're already doing? Because that shit is already accepted in MMA with the gloves.
No, I know, I get it. I just feel because whenever I watch BKFC, which I did the other day, it just seems worse because I know it's worse for both the guy punching and the one getting punched.
But all the other elements we already see. You see elbows and you see feet and knees and all that stuff.
It's actually worse with the glove.
Yeah. You think? Because of the way the seams are and stuff like that?
No. So if you read any of the concussion science about it, what actually damages your brain isn't the blunt force impact. I mean, obviously it damages your brain too, but that's not the vast majority of the damage. The damage comes mainly from the resonance in the brain. So that's why they took headgear out of the Olympic boxing. So because it creates more resonance, vibration.
It makes it worse. Okay.
Yes, just like football players, they wear those big helmets, but it makes it worse because now, obviously, football is different too because obviously, now you're going to attack with your head and use your head.
Right.
But it's the resonance that creates the damage.
Huh. So without all that stuff on it, you actually resonate less with.
Exactly. So there's going to be less resonation, and there's going to be more blunt impact, which creates more laceration. So it looks worse.
Right.
To the normal person, but it's not actually worse for their brain. It just
that's why there's way more deaths in fucking boxing. Yes. And there's also way more. How many more times have you seen somebody from boxing, a boxing legend, there's not a whole lot of MMA guys like that.
It sucks though. Like that Jason Knight and Artem, they were torn up, and even just the other night, Chad and Eddie.
But it's the superfish.
They were busted up.
It's all superficial. Yeah, exactly. It's all superficial. It looks terrible.
Yeah,
but it's not as damaging on the brain. I'm not a fucking scientist, so don't quote me on it, right? But
no, this is proven.
That's your fifth
this
job.
Is fucking
you guys
proven.
Are a scientist here.
No, this is proven. He had the perfect analogy. It's like the football versus let's say rugby. Those guys is not. Those guys is tough, and they hit. But there's certain stuff you're gonna do in football because you have the protection, and it's still handling your brain, and and it's shaking your brain, slosh around in there and bang up against you. Your skull.
Yeah, but I think
it's
it'd
not good
be
for you.
a very interesting topic with an expert, someone that's actually researched this and, for maybe a podcast like yours or something,
Yes, no, you're right. No, you're right.
What an excellent idea. Instead, we have salad dressing experts talking about this fucking shit.
Hey, no, I wanted to ask you because for those who don't know, when you're not fighting, I know that you are a guitar player as well, and it seems like you lean toward the heavier stuff. And earlier today, I sent you my brother. So my brother and I should listen. If folks are over on Insta, if you look up Six String Guy, that's my brother, my older brother Dane, and he's a electric guitar player, and he is like a rock and roll guy. Like he loves like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, and Eddie was his hero. And so I grew up listening to Van Halen and the Scorpions and whatever. Like I know a lot of hard rock and metal from back then and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of these bands live actually myself. But how long have you been playing guitar? Like how did you get into it? How do you feel like it kind of balances, or like, because I feel like they always say like people, if you're good at music, it can help you in other disciplines as well too, right? So
yeah, I think so. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Like I was grounded to my room a lot when I was a kid. And there's, we didn't have like PlayStations and TVs and toys and technology. So, but there was a guitar. My mom played guitar a little bit and like.
Oh, she played.
Yeah, she played like the church, like singing Amazing Grace and stuff. So.
Well, your mom was African American, no? You remember your parents was black. They played gospel music and stuff like that. A gospel brunch.
Oh man.
I'm not sure that's true.
Well, I'm remembering incorrect, but anyway, okay, go ahead.
One of my ancestors might have been a little bit. I don't know, but
I think so.
Not my mom.
I think you might have been a little bit.
Little
somewhere.
something.
I'm not gonna. I will agree that maybe
Matt
somewhere
Brown.
in the back, like maybe somebody. Yeah.
There was some more brown in there. But wait, okay, so she was playing Negro spirituals on the guitar?
Something like that.
Okay.
You said it, not me. But so I had a little acoustic there, so she would teach me how to play. So I started playing it, and then I just kind of stuck with it. I love playing. I'm not like a professional or anything. I just pick it up on like a weekend or something. When I'm playing. I prefer to spend most of my time like kind of in solitude. Like I like to kind of do my own thing by myself. I don't really go out or anything. I don't really hang out, do a lot of social stuff. Like my social time is the gym and fighting, right? When I like to come home, be by myself. So that just takes me.
I'm the same. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It just takes me to like that other world, and then like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of, like any artist, like just like what we love about fighting, right? We get in there and it's just me and the other guy, and it's just another world. We're caught in the flow of things. And I think
it's a meditation.
Yeah.
It's like a meditation in a way.
Meditation, actually.
I want to know, like, what was so you obviously your mom have you starting off on like whatever it's the Saints Go Marching in, whatever the fuck it is, and then what was the first song that you was like as soon as she leave the home you like
smoke on the water, exactly.
Like which was the gateway drug, like the first one you was like I'm gonna play this shit? What was there one?
Well, I only had an acoustic when I was living with my parents until I was like 14 or 15, so I'd have to find acoustic songs. So how long it took me to figure out the Metallica acoustic songs. I don't remember which one, but like acoustic.
Nothing Else Matters? That's not fully acoustic, but it has a little bit more.
Yeah, that one was so easy that it didn't.
No, you know what he played? He played More Than Words by Extreme. Second now love you.
That's not a terrible song. Dude, who do you harmonize with? More than words.
Wait, so you must have played a lot of like. What's his fucking name?
We do it all here, Matt. We do it all.
It was like the Metallica acoustic stuff, and then finally I got an electric guitar when I was like 14 or 15.
Nice.
Saved up all my lawn mowing money or whatever. Got I got electric guitar, and I went straight to the Pantera. That was my shit.
Oh,
Pantera.
nice.
Because my parents hated it, you know.
Of course, yeah, right.
Of course,
right.
you brought the satanic music out on
And
you.
so were you? Because my brother used to like, you'd have the song playing, and he would try to play along. And I remember hearing Eruption, like literally, like there'll be a week where he was trying to learn Eruption. And
that's not easy shit either,
dude. It's so hard, and with the finger tapping,
wow.
I get it. I have such an appreciation for that. Like, it's not easy. And it's funny, so because I'm curious, like I talked to some people about like doing some side things, like you should put together a UFC band because I know there's other people that play instruments.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I've worked with probably like 4 or 5 different guys on putting together some songs. Not UFC guys, but like musicians that's what they do for a living.
Right.
And I just never commit to it. Like I do it for fun. And like when I actually have like 5 songs to record right now.
Really?
This guy wants me to do with them. And like recording's a bitch, like it's like it's a job. And I'm like, dude, I just gotta do this for fun, man. And it takes the fun out of it. It's like, maybe I will sometime though. It's a commitment, when you start recording and like laying down tracks, and they got to be tight.
Playing out is probably more fun. Just playing at a bar or something, or a little club.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hey, listen, I like International Fight Week because I know Amanda Nunes is playing. She's taking like drum lessons and stuff. Brendan Fitzgerald plays piano. Let's see. We just need a bass player or something like that. We need to hook you up with somebody. We'll get you a band for International Fight Week. That'd be amazing.
The only times I've played live, I actually prefer playing bass live because it's so much easier. Because like the guitar, I have to focus, and like, if I mess up, like you hear it real loud.
Oh,
the bass you can just play around, and I've been playing
just
around
in the background. Yeah, no, it's cool. I love
and you kind of look cool. The bassist is laid back.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Like
so you've always been like a heavier guy though, like into more hard rock and heavy metal.
Oh God, yeah, very much, yeah.
You know how heavy metal he is. He told me the story. Do you know much about Pantera, Karyn Bryant?
I know some about Pantera. I know that one of the guys passed away, but like I've seen Anthrax live. I've seen Judas Priest. I've seen AC/DC. I've seen Metallica and Faith No More and Guns N' Roses. I've seen Motley Crue. I've seen a lot of bands. So
well, listen, this ain't about how many bands you've seen. This is about your Matt Brown, and he happened to be at that fateful night. He was right there, an arm's length away, where Dimebag Darrell was murdered in front of Matt Brown.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I watched it happen. I watched him get shot in the back of the head. I watched a guy less than arm's length away from me get shot in his arm. I watched the off-duty cop come in and blow the head straight off of the guy that was shooting everyone. Yeah. Seen the whole thing.
How? I like legit. I
was right there. I was like 2 people. I was in the mosh pit, or like right in front of the mosh pit, like 2 people, from the stage when it happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, imagine.
That's
I mean, he told the harrowing story on my old podcast,
terrible.
And it was touching because at the end,
oh my God.
everybody was saved. The off-duty cop who was saved, everybody happened to be an African American guy named Negro Meyer.
His name's James Niggemeyer. Yeah.
That's even worse. God has your soul.
Oh,
you said that first.
God.
I tried to soften the blow.
So did you know the guys in the band? Like, did you know Dimebag?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He wasn't a fighter. He was working at the fucking no joke. He was working at Marzatch.
Yeah, I was working at Marzetti at the time, actually. And
didn't you say you got if I remember correctly, the reason you was able to go to the concert is because he got in trouble at the fucking oil factory at the vinaigrette factory, and then he said, "Well, fuck it, I might as well go to the show, still dressed up in the outfit from the fucking Marzatch."
Yeah, it was literally like 2 minutes away from the from Marzetti plant. So I was like, "Well, I get to go see Dimebag tonight. Hell yeah!" He was my favorite guitarist ever.
What a fucking experience, Karyn.
Yeah, what a fucking experience, man. Yeah. And like my most fond memory of the whole thing was when it was all over. I walked back into the venue because everybody ran out. I didn't run out, but I went out and I was like, dude, what just happened, right? So and I walked back in to kind of see like am I remembering what just happened, or is it you're just in awe of what's going on, right? I walked back in and I still to this day remember Dimebag laid out on the floor with his guitar still in his hand. Just he had very long hair, and just all crunched together with the blood, and it was just terrible.
Did he see it coming, or maybe it came from behind?
Playing guitar, like
know what? That's the one saving grace. Imagine to him, maybe it's not even traumatic. It's like he dies just boom, like playing the fucking guitar.
For sure, it was at the it was just
and what was the story behind it? It was obviously it was personal. I mean, obviously it was.
So Pantera broke up. This was in a band called Damage Plan, which was Dimebag's band after Pantera. And this guy was just a crazy lunatic, a war veteran, and he believed that Dimebag had broken up Pantera. And it was I don't know, like people freaking love Pantera,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little bit obviously way psycho, but yeah, he was, he touched a lot of people, and just touched that guy a little bit too much.
People get into crazy fantasies about this shit, I used to be on.
That's the worst part, but, fucking it wasn't even Dimebag's fault. It was like Phil Anselmo's fault 100%.
Well, true, but that's neither here or there. It's like,
it's nothing. But
no, people internalize that shit.
They do. Yeah, well, and it's funny though, because I feel like that too in terms of MMA, and maybe you felt this, Matt, like maybe you've had super fans, because I feel like with our sport, people take it more personally, right? Like I get it. The I'm from Boston. The Bruins got eliminated, and like, what the f? Like, they shouldn't have gotten eliminated. Like, dude, what?
That is an understatement.
We freaking like lose a floor. Like what?
That's
like,
a fucking
so that kind of stuff is like insane and shouldn't happen. But I feel like I love my Patriots and I love that stuff. Like I get the team thing, but like the whole thing about individuals with the fighters, I feel like people almost bond like more to you. People live or die. Like I talk about this and I halfway joke about it, but like Khabib's fan, for example, like if you say anything that remotely maybe hints at him not being anything other than a deity, you get attacked, right? But like, so have you had super fans? Like, because I would believe, Matt, that certain kinds of people would really connect with you, and like that you would be a certain kind of person's favorite dude, and you would get those kind of psycho fans.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've had some pretty crazy people do some pretty crazy things, but I think they kind of settled down when like I just talk to them like they're normal. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, what do you want? Like,
okay.
And they're like, well, what you're talking to? You know what I mean? They almost like catches them off guard because I'm like, hey, what are you doing this weekend or something?
Yeah.
And like I come, it kind of like brings me down to their level.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you're just a normal dude. I'm not so much a super fan anymore, but I still like you, bro.
Okay. I'm not so much a super fan.
Right. Stars are just like us.
Well, I think
I didn't need your fucking super fan anyway to start.
Right. You're like, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
I think
I don't even sell merch, so like
you don't have any.
That's
merch?
crazy.
No.
You should make some kind of heavy metal-ish looking shit, like it could look like an old heavy metal album cover or something like that. You could. The ideas would be endless for her.
I did it for a while.
Yeah.
Like, if I had someone running it, maybe I would. But
yeah, I know it's a pain. Trust
idea.
me, I've did my own merch. It's a fucking pain in the ass, Karyn.
Off the top of my head, I would say you should have immortal like sleeping bags that look like body bags. Since you died once, and you could.
Now that's not a bad idea.
It's actually not a bad idea. You're out. You know.
How about condoms that look like body bags, Karyn? And you're gonna keep it from. Oh, I hear that cuckoo bird in the
my cuckoo
background.
clock. I turned the music off. Hey Matt, so I remember you because you have 2 sons. Is that right?
I have 2 sons and a daughter.
2 sons and a daughter, right?
How old? What's the ages now?
The boys are twins. They're 12, and the girl is 7.
Okay, so
Wow.
sweet. And
Twin
if I remember correctly, a few years back, they did like a cute little version of Tough Talk or something. Like, I remember you sharing this little video of them on IG or something, and it was so cute. Because I used to do, for those who don't know, I used to do a Tough Talk when we were over at FS1, and it was after The Ultimate Fighter, and I would do a show, and we would interview. Sometimes it was me and Dominic, sometimes me and Bisping, and we would have people on from the show and stuff like that. And I remember it was the cutest thing that your kids were playing with that. But like, so, you know, do you encourage them into fighting? Do they train jiu-jitsu? Do they fight? Like, you know, because you hear that a lot of times. Certain fighters are like, I don't want my kids anywhere near this. And then other fighters are all about having their kids do it as well.
So the way I look at it is, I'm not in the business of telling them what to do with their lives. I'm in the business of creating competent adults. And that's what, you know, responsible men. That's my job.
I like that.
Boys and, you know, competent female for my daughter, right? That's what my job is. I believe very strongly that the martial arts plays a role in that. So yes, I encourage them to do the martial arts. I do not say like, I want you to be a fighter or whatever, but I encourage them to lift weights. We lift weights all the time. They get in the sauna with me. They get in the ice bath with me. They do the martial arts with me. They go for runs with me, all this stuff. But they're very well-rounded kids, and I try to encourage them to be well-rounded. And, you know, I don't think either one of them, maybe my one son, he might be a fighter. He loves it and he's really good at it. But my other one, like, he's into fucking golf, you know, like.
Nice. I play golf.
She loves golf.
Yeah,
for me, it don't do nothing for me, but for her,
it's awesome. Golf. It's so fun. Yeah.
It doesn't really do much for me either, but I'll go to the golf course with him, you know, and sit there and be bored. But I can
imagine. It's still an individual pursuit, Matt. Like, you could find a lot of, like, not for nothing. There's a lot to be said for the individual pursuit, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but your marbles is stay fresh in golf, though. That's the only saving grace for him.
I mean, that's what I told him. I said, bro, like, go be the best golfer you could be. Get a fucking scholarship, and make some money.
It's all about that.
Yeah,
make my life easier. That's cool, because, but he's also, like, I don't know, he's literally like a genius. You know, the school actually, like, tells you, like, he's a
wow.
Gifted and talented. He's a genius.
Really?
Well, I like that because the school. Oh, come on! Don't try to link that with your own genius or whatever.
No. I'm just saying that he's got two twin sons, so I'm just saying which one.
Okay.
I'm just
the
clarifying.
other one is not a genius.
Like, the MMA one. You don't say, Karyn.
No.
But I like that you at least had someone else confirm that he's a genius, because you know how many fucking parents go, you gotta see our son. Oh, he's a fucking genius. You're like,
yeah, but this guy's actually got a Mensa. He's got a Mensa membership and everything, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't want to be that guy. Like, oh, my kid's a genius. Like,
yeah,
I know he's in the 95th percentile in every subject, and he does like school.
Nice.
You know?
Well, you always struck me as a smart guy, though, Matt. Not for nothing. Like, you did always strike me as somebody that was like. And I don't want to throw other people under the bus, but yeah, like, I always did kind of get the feeling that you were a little bit more intelligent than maybe the average fighter.
Oh, what's he supposed to say? You say you think so?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, well, listen to you, Karyn.
Yeah.
You know, I think people will get confused, because I know that you're very smart, but a lot of people used to confuse him for the lead actor in Sling Blade, for her.
Oh, he's not Billy Bob Thornton.
Wait, did you never sell Sling Blade still?
No.
That's the other thing.
Matt Brown, you've never seen Sling Blade. It's amazing.
I could tell you could name 10 movies. I bet I haven't seen 9 of them.
Man.
God damn it.
You know, I just watched Rocky for the first time like
a
year ago because my kids wanted to see it.
Now I got a question.
They wanted to see the Creed, and I was like, well, we got to watch Rocky.
I like that. But I got a question. 2 things. First of all, because as far as I remember, hockey is like Santa Claus. I don't remember knowing about hockey, just been there forever, you know? So did it still have the same effect? Because there's few movies that gave me the chills and the chingles like that fucking movie.
You had me so confused because you're like, hockey. I thought you were talking about the sport.
I know.
You know, it's a very low blow of somebody who's speak multiple language and try to assimilate to your country and talking about one of your American hero.
I respect
to my what?
But no, I didn't. I thought the movie was kind of boring, to be honest.
Oh,
Fuck. Okay, next subject.
There's the headline: Matt Brown hates Rocky.
Yeah, Matt Brown hates Rocky. All of a sudden, all
Yeah.
you fucking fans turn on you, and you become a shit heel of the UFC.
I'm sure, like in its day when it came out, it was a great movie. But now I'm like,
You know what it is? Okay, see, first of all, before you judge, go see Hockey 3. That's going to be high up your fucking alley, because here's the deal. I even seen Sylvester Stallone get mad about this. He says, I don't know why they always call hockey a fucking action movie or a sports movie. It's not a sports movie. It's a love story. And he's right. It's a fucking love story about a boxer, about a loser, a guy who's a fucking loser. And that's really the movie. He's like, I heard a love story.
So he thinks it's more of a romance between him and
this
Adrian?
first movie, and it is. Yeah. But as it goes along, after the second one, it becomes like
Sports
a
movies.
fucking superhero movie,
Yeah.
you know? And that's when it gets funny. You got Thunder Lips, you got Clubber Lang, you got the Hichana fucking Apollo Creed, all that kind of stuff.
okay, see, I might dig
you need to see that. That's gonna be high up your fucking alley.
I'm not really into
guaranteed.
and stuff, you know.
But this one, I guarantee you,
because everybody
you're gonna love
is like the love movies, the romance movies. Like my girl made me watch The Notebook, you know, all this shit.
I've never seen The Notebook.
I seen it.
Well, damn, I seen The Notebook. You ain't seen The Notebook. You seen Rocky. I didn't see Rocky.
I seen all that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what kind of movies do you like then? Like, what are some of your favorite movies?
Every time my kids ask for movie night, I put on 300.
Okay, so I got movies for you then. You're gonna like.
That's so on brand, Matt.
So fuck it.
That's like.
So you seen Gladiator?
Huh?
Gladiator's
solid, but I've seen it so many times. Every time it's worse.
Braveheart?
I love Braveheart.
Okay, see, we know the kind of stuff we're talking about here.
Right. Okay. So, what have you seen? Unleashed?
Never heard of that one.
That's the great one with Jet Li and Morgan Freeman, where Jet Li plays he's this guy's hitman martial artist. Like, he's basically the guy that he keeps him in a little pit on a leash. And whenever the bad guy needs to go get somebody effed up, he sends out Jet Li. And then Jet Li's like, no, man, I want to be free and I want to live. It's so good. It's got some of the greatest martial arts I've ever seen in my life. Unleashed. You got to see it.
We're watching it this weekend.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Raging Bull is another one.
Them fighting in you always hear about phone booth fighting, but there's a scene with them fighting in this tiny little space, which is so phenomenal. It's my favorite martial arts movie, like by 10 miles.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Raging Bull is a good one.
Raging Bull is great.
Here's the thing, and this is one thing I like. My kids ask for movie night, so I watch. I've seen every kids movie. I've seen Despicable Me 30 times.
Of course, you've seen that shit.
I fucking love Despicable Me.
So good.
Okay.
Angry Birds. I love this movie.
So good.
Because it's anger, hate, like hate breed.
Rio's good. The Madagascar movies are good.
Yeah. See, I like all this, but like with my kids, I tell them, look, we don't have to watch fucking movies all the time. Go read a goddamn book.
That's a chop sell.
Yeah, like
a chop sell.
Like I don't sit here on my couch and watch. My TV's right in front of me. I'd never even turn it on. I'm like, how about I read a fucking?
Good for you.
I'm staring at my library right here, Matt. So
yeah. Now here's the thing: it's easier for us because we into that. But if you want to get kids, the gateway to heating for me when I was a young Laranjino is I hit comic book.
Yeah.
And funny enough, a lot of that shit is so intelligent.
Really,
I learned a lot of my vocabulary from fucking comic book. I learned a lot of stuff. Just even the fucking title, The Uncanny X-Men. I remember what the fuck is uncanny. So I look in the fucking dictionary, and you go, oh, and then you end up being head and shoulders above the other fucking kids, between the movies, the adult movies, not porno, but the adult themes, and then the fucking comic book. That's how you get your brain moving, And I think that's comic book is some of the greatest way because you're hitting, but at least you got the pictures. But then once your brain start getting into, okay, it's not bored by hitting, then you go, okay, maybe I can fuck with one without the picture,
Yeah. Yes, my one son, he loves graphic novels.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Some of the best stuffs ever.
Well, I love that too. Well, my kid actually, she reads a lot of manga and stuff. My daughter's an artist, and she wants to be an animator for her like career actually. So she watches a lot of anime, reads a lot of manga and stuff like that. So yeah, it's the same type of thing. I completely agree. It's a great inroad into a lot of other stuff. So
And
yeah, I mean,
my other son is a genius. Like he reads the fucking genius. He reads adult books. He just read Rich Dad Poor Dad the other day.
oh shoot,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Can you give me some advice?
Well, now he's gonna be like,
I need
wait,
some
my
investing
fucking dad
advice.
is poor, Karyn. He's gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? What happened here? He go, who moved my cheese for him?
Move the cheese.
Thank you.
Right.
You should have never told him that. He's gonna be depressed now. He's gonna. I thought my dad had a lot of money.
Like, I'll be buying some shit. He's like, is that a debt or is that an
Oh no! Oh fuck no!
Wow.
And then you go, you know what? Shut your mouth. You're not making no fucking money.
You're a liability and a debt.
Yeah,
So get outta
I'll
here.
send you to the salad dressing mines like I had to do.
Well, to be fair, he is making money too. He kind of has his own little business.
What he's doing?
Yeah, in the summertime, he does. He was mowing lawns like for the past couple years.
Oh,
Right. He made these little business cards. He started going door to door. Made
Fair
a
enough.
Facebook website. Get on the next door. All this shit.
Nice.
You know, this kid's fucking killing it. Made like $700-800 last year.
no shit.
Now this year he's gonna do pressure washing and asphalt repair.
Holy crap.
You know, I did a lot of, speaking of pressure, you know, when I was young, I had my own business. I used to provide pressure point and Swedish massage to a lot of, you know, some of the single mom in the area. Huh?
like it.
Sensual massage.
Unsolicited.
Man, I'm in the wrong business. This is what
Yeah.
I do.
I did some of that pro bono, but
I got strong hands, bro.
I bet you do. Yeah, I have that one too. I have a slow hand. But anyway, back to you.
Touch?
Yes, I have sometimes I have to put my goon hand though when with the mouthy one like Karyn Bryant.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
but I have to grab Karyn Bryant like this. Look, you know,
Was it?
just because she flap her gums all the time.
All right. Guess what? Then the up
Yeah,
elbow, Matt.
Hey, though, at least.
The up elbow.
Why you say?
I got pointy ass elbows myself.
I'll teach you how to do the elbows.
Nice. Hey, I want to see if there's any questions for you. Hey, listen.
Oh, yeah.
Renato, are you? I feel like there was something you needed. I know you guys are old friends. Did you need to get to anything? We can't keep him all night. It's late. He's in Ohio. He's a couple hours ahead of us.
I mainly wanted to
you
focus.
get mad when I say, "Hey," to our guests, like, "Hey, I understand you might need to go." You get all like, "Oh."
Well, you know what she does is we be in the middle of having a great. We're having a great time here, and the guest is laughing and enjoying it. And she goes, "Speaking of which, how about we get? How about you? It's time for you to go.
No,
Look at that. See what you
where'd he
did?
go?
He already left. As soon as you bring that up, it fuck up the vibe. But
No, it's that I'm the host and I go, okay, when I invite guests on, I tell them, you know, you can stay as long as you want. And I understand, like,
here's the deal.
Some people maybe need to go sometimes and they're on a different time. We're on the West
Karyn
Coast.
Bryant.
It's earlier for us.
Karyn Bryant, to
I
answer
will
your
talk to Matt all night. If he will stay all night, he can talk with us all night.
listen, we don't want to keep him all night. And to answer your question, yes, I talked about, listen, my going in, I wanted to do salad dressing based content. And I feel confident that I was uncover a lot of stuff that most of the people was wanting. Most of the fan wanted to hear about that.
Always known to be
that's
a
what I gave
very
to them.
oily kind of a guy. So
Wow.
it makes
Yeah, but
sense.
my oil, I give you zucchini oil for her. Cucumber oil. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. Hey, there's a question here. Somebody had a question for you, Matt, and they said, Daedalus is asking, what's your prediction on how your fight ends with Court? Because, you know, the thing about Court is he's a tough guy, right? Like, I feel like both of you guys are very hard to get rid of. I know you said, you know, it's a rare occasion, I feel like, when people are able to get rid of you guys.
You know what? I hate giving predictions on how my fight's gonna end. Like, I'm fucking prepared hard as I can, and I'm going in there to smash this guy, and I plan on winning in every aspect of the game, top to bottom. And you know how it ends. It's kind of the worst. You know, I don't want to knock this guy asking a question, but it's kind of the worst question you can ask, because it's gonna be like, you know, I don't know how he's going to react to me punching him in his face. You know, maybe, I don't know how he's going to react to me kicking his leg. I don't know
Yeah.
how he's going to react when I knee his head. You know, maybe.
You don't want to pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah.
You want to, everything is available.
That's it. You know, like there's no prediction. Like I'm going to beat this guy's ass.
Okay, so here I have a question, and if I feel like maybe you can do this. Can you explain what your inner monologue is when you're in a fight, right? Because I think often about when people are walking to the fight, and I know I've talked to different people, some people who are on their way to the octagon feeling very confident, some people who are on the way to the octagon going, holy crap, what am I doing, right? But like, how much in a fight, like what's your inner monologue like? Is your inner monologue like, yeah, baby, let's flow? Or is your monologue like a taskmaster? Like, what's actually going on when you're fighting?
You nam your whole hangekyo, nam your whole hangekyo, nam your whole hangekyo. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
You know what? It depends. A lot of times it depends on the flow of the fight. You know, sometimes it's like a faster paced fight. Sometimes, you know, you can't. Sometimes like you hit a guy and you know it doesn't really phase them. You know, sometimes you hit them and you know they drop, right. So you know there's tons of different areas, so it kind of changes. But what, like when I do my own visualization and when I practice in the gym constantly, is just positive self-talk, you know, and that's the easiest way to sum it up is, you know, you just I'm really big on two different things, and it's always moving forward to the next step, right? Not thinking about like the last round or the last technique or the last thing, unless like something particular that I need to pull from it, but always thinking about what I'm going to do next. And the second thing is never use any negatives in the terms of like, you know, I'll never say to myself, like, you're not tired or don't slip this way. You know, it's always,
right.
You know, you feel fresh, you feel good. And
it's always a positive words. Yeah. Right. That's so interesting to me because some people work off of negative feedback, right? Some people go, you effed up, you did this wrong, you gotta fix this, and that's what they respond to. And
everybody's different. Yeah. I'm like him.
So that's, I think you're thinking more in terms of like motivating yourself or motivating.
And even just in general, like I know myself, I'm like, well, you screwed that up, you better fix it. Instead of going, this could be better, let's go toward this. Like I feel like I probably negative self-talk to myself more than affirmative, which I like what you're doing.
Well, what they say, what you feed grows, right? So, you know, if you feed that negative, that's what's going to grow. But I think, again, you're thinking more of a little bit in different terms where I'm talking about task specific.
Right.
Like, for example, if you going around the curve at, you know, 100 miles an hour, rather than saying, oh, don't hit the guardrail, then you hit the fucking guardrail, right? So you think, no, I'm going to go through the curve, look through it, you know, need a 45-degree, you know, whatever it is. But so not necessarily motivating positivity, but never using negatives. So,
like
so not necessarily when I say negatives as in, you know, negative versus positive, but there's negative as in do not or stop.
The negative, yes.
Well, because Karyn Bryant, like he said, what you water is gonna come up, because at the end of the day, even if you're saying don't hit the guardrail, all your brain is focused on what? The guardrail.
Right. Well, and there's a whole thing where they say, like, if you need to remember something, don't tell yourself, don't forget to do this. You're supposed to say, I need to remember to do this. You know, because there's something about the negative thing that messes with you.
I try to take it to the next step of like, if I want to remember something, that's a very good example actually, because I use that specifically rather than saying don't or I need to, because I don't actually need to. I say I will.
Okay.
Right.
Instead,
you don't actually need to. You know,
You're right.
You need to eat, drink, sleep. You know, pay taxes. You know,
true.
Basically, that's what you need to do. You don't need to.
But I will.
Yeah,
I will do.
And that, you know, that just comes down to, and that's the other part of self-talk that I guess I try to practice a lot, which is a building process in the gym, is integrity, which is basically either you do it or you do not do it. And that's something that takes a lot of time to build, where I talk about like building trust in your subconscious. I mean, that's where confidence actually comes from. So when you walk into the cage, every single person that walks out there is like, you're going to do great. You're going to win. Let's go, all this. But does your subconscious trust your conscious saying that, right? If you said, I'm going to go do 45 minutes on the treadmill and you go do 40, now your subconscious is saying, oh, I don't really trust you, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have to build.
You have to have the evidence.
Yes, exactly. So it has to build this trust over time. Once that trust is built over time, now you have actual integrity within your own mind. So now that self-talk actually means something. So now when you use that self-talk, you can say, I will or I will not.
Yeah, Karyn Bryant, you can't just jump to, I'm going to find a guy that looked like Renato Laranja one day. I want to marry a guy like that. You have to get some ugly version of me or like a poor man's Renato Laranja first. And then your body's going to go, well, I'm capable of getting something even in the ballpark. And then you can maybe think about, he'll think about
good place to start.
Yeah.
Where they go.
It's something to think
well,
about.
I actually really like that though, Matt. And that's, I really like that. I really like that. I've been practicing not saying the negative stuff out loud. This is something, like a theme I've been talking about for the last few weeks, but like this is something that I recently tried to adopt, was just not giving voice to the negative stuff. And that's, I guess, kind of step one of what you're talking about.
Okay, if I can give you advice.
Yes, please do.
On the subject. So the words that you just used were
not
wrong. You said I've been trying, I've been practicing. So again, do or do not.
Do or do not, Yoda.
Like Yoda.
I know, Yoda, do or do not. And you're right, and I actually have been doing. I should applaud myself. I've been doing, or at least I've also been better at, if I do say something negative out loud to myself, I'm like, okay, so, that's not true. You aren't dumb. And you aren't really...
into my own mentality, and I can't necessarily say this applies to everyone, because I'm not a fucking mental coach. I'm not a psychologist or anything. But I also don't believe in applauding myself and patting myself on the back. So, because now that asserts that you have done something out of the ordinary. Right? So
you're okay. I see what you're saying.
So this is like when I go back to, I created a new identity for myself when I stopped drinking and partying, right?
Right.
I created an entirely new identity. If I would have patted myself on the back, oh, now you can relax, like you made it. It's like, no, this is just who you are. You shouldn't be applauded for changing or for what you really are.
Okay, but I guess what I'm saying, I recently got divorced and stuff like that, so I had to I'm not even reinventing myself, to be honest with you guys. I'm like getting back to who I actually was, because I actually let a lot of my true self go during my marriage, and like muted a lot of things and changed a lot of things, and it sucks. And so I'm actually trying to reclaim who I am and come back to. And so sometimes the negative voice in my head actually isn't even mine, if we're honest. Or something, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's conditioning of other things that other people have said to you. And so it's a lot to overcome. And so I do have to, it's baby steps, but I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, you don't want to have to applaud yourself. Like you just want to be that way and be that.
I'm picking you apart just because we're on.
No, I love it. Please, I'm here for it.
To be honest, I pick myself apart on these things too, right? And even I'm trying to remember what I was just picking apart that, but just little things like.
Well, you're saying don't give yourself affirmations, and don't applaud or pat yourself on the back for doing something like you should just do.
Yeah, like you said, like I'm trying to reinvent myself.
Right.
Don't try, that's even when you say it. So there's a great, I think the best book in history of man is called As a Man Thinketh. I don't know if you've
Marcus Aurelius or no?
James Allen Green.
That's what I said.
Or James Allen, I forget.
Renato went way back to the Greek philosophers.
No, but in the Stoic, he used to call himself James Allen Greer or whatever the fuck.
David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole book is about, is your self-talk is the seed, and then it comes out into your life. So every little word means something, right? Every tiny little word. And if we can get past all these. This is something, you know, I practice all the time. That's like I write things on the wall, like on the whiteboards, on the mirror, you know, and a lot of people like they'll come in and be like, God,
They're like, he's a serial killer. What the fuck is going on here?
Exactly. Yeah. I've had people think, you know, the weirdest things, you know, and anytime someone comes into my house for the first time, because I'm divorced too, recently, for just a couple years ago.
Thank God. Thank God, boy.
Oh yeah. Thank God. For sure. But, sorry, but.
Oh, believe me, I feel you, Matt. I feel you. Mine's a hallelujah. Mine was, I don't want to say how many years too late. But anyway, I digress.
For most people, it's probably a thing, to be honest. But, you know, so now my house is the way that I want it, you know. It's all for me. It's all for me and for my kids, right?
And never another woman shall enter. But anyway.
Well, no, they can enter, but you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here, bro.
Well,
that's the thing.
Well, I said you can stay here, but you have to be providing quality in the life.
Oh, no, and they're never doing that.
Fuck up, right? Like if it's not on the way up, it's on the way down. There's no neutral here.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
So
you know what I tried to tell them? I said to them simply this: this ain't matrimony. This is macahoney. And they can check from that what they.
You're the cheese.
Yes, I'm the fucking big cheese as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I'm the big hagoo.
So anyway, so the whole like trying to reinvent. Fuck reinventing. Like, this is who you are today, right? It's the same thing, like the people like I'm gonna diet tomorrow. I'm gonna do this tomorrow. You know, fuck baby steps. You know, but that's, again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a mental coach or anything like that, but that's how I operate, and that's how I work the best is you know, like I get the call to fight, I literally go do a sprint right then.
You're like an all-in guy. Yeah, you're like, it immediately, you don't even sign. It's not even like when the ink is dry on the thing. It's like as soon as you get the call, it's just
it's just I go. And it's not about being an all-in guy. Like, I'm all in on everything I do, but I think it's all just the mindset. You know, you have to have the mindset of commitment, and that's where the integrity comes from, is the commitment. When you're committed to a single purpose, you know, we talk about these kind of things like, you know, could you come up with $10,000 tomorrow? You know, most people say probably no. Well, what if your kid was kidnapped and you had $10,000 tomorrow? Well, you fucking could, right? Because you'd be committed to it. So what's your level of commitment? If your commitment is all the way, then there's no taking no for an answer. And when I look at through this lens, I see a lot of things like, wow, I'm not really committed to that, am I? You know, and you don't have to be committed to everything. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer either. But I think when you are when you're fighting, you need to be fully committed. And I could look back at my own fights, and I could see when I wasn't fully committed. You know.
Yeah,
I think most fighters could probably say that, right? There's times they weren't fully committed. Maybe for me particularly, like there's days I woke up on the day of the fight and I didn't feel committed that day. Like, you know, I felt committed the whole camp. Everything was great. And then that day I'm like, I remember one fight, I was in the locker room and I literally called an Uber and was like, dude, I want to fucking go home. I want to eat a pizza. I don't feel like fighting tonight. And I went out there and fought still, but
how'd it go?
I canceled the Uber, but I just didn't feel like it. I was like,
I canceled the fucking Uber. Yeah.
No, I hope you can. Other people, they say that they're like, holy crap. Like, I showed up that night and didn't want to be there.
Yeah. That's it. And it happens, you know, to the best of us, I think. But that's also the difference between champions and non-champions. Like, unfortunately, like myself, you know, they can fight through it and stay with the commitment and still come out victorious.
Yeah.
Ali used to talk about that. You know, he was talking about, you know, you do it, you know, sometimes feeling bad, sometimes feeling good. You know, it's just like either way, you do it, you're still doing the shit, you know. Like,
and that's one of the things when I guess maybe you're a rookie or an amateur fighter coming up where like people don't tell you these things and, you know, they're unexpected. And hopefully I can provide some value to some people coming up or, you know, maybe whatever in their regular everyday 9-to-5 shit job or whatever that, can provide some value to their life, because I think what life is all about, right, is giving back and providing for the next people.
Nice. Well, is there with that? I mean, we should wrap it up soon with you. But like, does that mean you looking back, like, have regrets about the way your career unfolded, or there's other stuff that you would have done differently? No,
I don't regret a single thing ever. I don't even regret. There's absolutely things I would do differently if I could go back. But it's all mindset stuff. Everything comes down to mindset. It all begins with the mindset. So there's absolutely things I would do differently. There's things that I would change. There's things that I would probably pursue harder. I would probably, I could go into tons of things. But do I regret them? No. Like, I'm here today. I'm in a wonderful place. I got wonderful kids. I have a wonderful home. I'm in a happy place, and my life is good. Like, I got a roof over my head, food on my table, and I'm not, no
listen,
or anything.
All you fuck ups in the past was led you to understand this stuff now. So it's like we wouldn't even be having this conversation, helping people with an Nope,
there she goes again.
Now she just probably tried to do something where she put some snazzy shit on the screen or whatever, and it's not gonna work out.
I'm here. I just look at something and I'm gone, and it's
you
crazy.
Can't do that. You have to understand.
I know. You're
you
right.
don't have the expertise.
I think what Hanachi was saying there is like, and what I was just saying, the regrets are for pussies. Like, that's what it's for pussies. Alcohol is for pussies.
Wait, take it easy. Now you're stepping on my show. No, go ahead. Though.
You can't drink, but those that.
But the reliance on it, I need this to be entertaining, or I need this alcohol or this weed or this whatever to enter this room or go and be with these people or whatever. It's you don't need that, right?
Phones are for pussies. And that's we talk about it all the time. The pussification of America, the fucking weakness, we've had too much good times. We're probably about to go into really fucking hard times in the world. So, we're going to find out who the real fucking men are coming up, I think.
Yeah. Well, you have always been one of those guys that everybody appreciates you in the fight world. Everybody knows that if they see your name on a fight card, they're like, well, it's going to be some blood, and there's probably going to be some whatever. Like, I can't imagine you being in a boring fight. I don't think it exists. And I feel like whatever this is that about your mindset and that full commitment, your all in ability or whatever, like, it totally just manifests in the way you fight. And that's why it's so entertaining. So I don't know how much longer you're going to do it. I hope, you keep going, because it's always fun to watch you. I hope the injuries don't keep you from doing it, but I expect that you and Court are probably going to have a great fight next week. On the 13th. I think it's awesome. Hanach, is there anything else you needed to say to him before?
Well, Matt Brown wanted to say something here.
Well, Karyn probably knows Dana pretty well. You got to tell him, put us on the fucking main card. He's got us on goddamn undercard.
Well, Karyn has a lot of control over what happens at the UFC, and Dana.
I will say this though. You're the featured prelim, though, aren't you?
I have no idea.
I think so.
I wasn't on the main, and I was like, whatever, who cares?
Because the featured prelim though is the one that's basically advertising. Like, if you're the featured,
but it's advertising for ABC.
I know, but the featured prelim, and same thing, like, if it's before a pay-per-view, like, the featured prelim is supposed to be the one that gets people, like, literally damp in the panties and, like, wet and ready to go. Like, holy crap, look what I just saw. I gotta pay for this next bit. Like, literally, that's why the featured prelim is supposed to always be. I
think the featured prelim. Yeah, go ahead.
Do a pay-per-view card where people will buy it, not where people go on ABC and watch it for free.
However, I think being the star of the prelim, almost like this, in let's check basketball. The sixth man on a basketball team is a lot of times better than a lot of the guys who started.
Yep.
It's just that he's the superstar on the second unit. You know what I mean? And there's other guys he's way better than, but they need him to be like the superstar on the second one. You know?
Well, I beat one of the guys on the main cards.
Well, that's the whole thing. Yeah, totally.
Hey, listen, we just tried to sugarcoat this one. Look, this is a terrible position for you, my brother.
Dude, it's BS.
Yeah,
Look, I
sad.
get it, and I get it. Like, it sucks because I know there's some people that are just like for our buddy Brandon Royval, who was on our show a couple weeks ago. Like,
oh yeah,
he was on the prelims, and he was so bummed because literally, like, his brother's incarcerated, and he's like, bro, they don't get ESPN Plus, but they get ESPN. And if I can get on the main card, then my brother can see me fight. And if I'm not on the main card, they can't see me fight. And they didn't get to see him fight, and it's a bummer.
Well, he got to win somewhere to get on there.
And he's like, I'm never fighting on the mother.
I know, and he was high. Yeah.
I wish I could sit in on these conversations where they're deciding. I'd be a fly on the wall where they're deciding like the layout of these cards. I just don't get them sometimes.
I agree.
Sometimes they probably don't even get them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree, but I will say that I know for us, like the featured prelim and the first fight on the main card are supposed to be awesome. And so on paper, those matchups are usually supposed to be incredible. Now, last weekend we had heavyweights in the feature prelim, and that can be dicey or whatever. But in general, like, I understand why it might seem offensive, but it's not
offensive. I mean, I'm a fighter. I just go in and fight, but I was just like, damn.
ABC. But you're a main card guy, and everybody knows that. That's the thing. Yeah. And also, not for nothing, they might put you there in order to get people to watch it. You know what I mean? It's like you may be the bait to get people there on the
Listen, just do the positive chalk. Just go like this. I'm on the fucking ABC, Carolina. I'm on the ABC. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. like Jake LaMarche.
You're a G.
It's good. I'll go out and put on a good show, and they'll wish that they did.
Exactly.
Do a shout out to your Uncle Hanach, and you're gonna get more fan and more endorsement and more Poon-chang or whatever you want. The sky's the limit.
Although he is single, so maybe you two.
That's what I said. Even if he wasn't single, he can do what he wants.
Maybe Matt. I don't know if Renato's a good wingman though.
I don't know. I take the ass.
What was that?
I take the cash over the ass.
Kara, you can have both of that one. And to have the leavings of Renato Laranja is sometimes better than the main course of a lot of guys.
Is that right? So, is that right?
Just never forget that.
Well, listen, I really do appreciate you joining us, and we know it's going to be an excellent fight. Look you guys go way back, but I'm really glad that you were able to do this with us this week, Matt. Really looking forward to seeing you fight, and just have been a fan forever. I think, like, we've all established here. You're just a G. Like, you just can't miss a Matt Brown fight.
Yeah, so and you're not a polarizing figure. No. Everybody tends to fight fans tend to like, for sure. Matt Brown. For sure. You know what I mean? He's a man's man, a fighter's fighter, and all that good stuff. And a salad dressing magnate, salad dressing guy.
Connoisseur.
Even back from the days of 7 C's and all that kind of stuff. And Hidden Valley and Newman's Own and the great tradition of all those guys.
I only use goddess dressing, Renato.
Never mind the goddess. See, that's the pussification of salad dressing.
I actually don't use goddess dressing.
Yeah.
I'm like an oil and vinegar girl.
We like your 7 C's, and we like whatever's the other bullshit, the mazach.
Okay. While we digress into salad dressings, let's let him go. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate
Matt Brown. It was a pleasure.
It's Charlotte. You're a G. Really appreciate it, and best of luck in your fight against Court McGee.
And it wouldn't kill you to send us some fucking coffee, what's going on here? Send me March.
I'll work on it, bro.
No. There's no working on it. There's either you're gonna do it.
There is only do.
Well, I'm a partner in the business. It's up to him, not me.
We'll tell your partner to come up off that fucking coffee bean stud on you.
I mean,
thank you, Matt.
Portalcoffee.com.
It is for sale, but not for people like your Uncle Henach. That's for free. Okay.
Thank you, Matt. We'll see you
on
later.
that note, ciao.
Bye. I mean, dude, we could keep him on all night. Like, honestly,
I know he's great. I know he's gonna be good.
Like, I literally could tell. Like, he's just a dude. Like, it's funny because I say this a lot, but like, there's certain people that we have on where you're just like, bro, if you lived around, like, we'd hang out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he's a good one. He's funny because he's not how you think he's gonna be. In fact, on my live before when I was doing the green home,
Yeah.
people who didn't realize I've had him on old show and stuff was like, "Oh, are you sure you can goof around with him?" And oh, I don't know if he's gonna take a job. You know what I mean?
I think
And
people
like,
think he's really serious, right?
yeah, he came up and to be honest, I was surprised in the first place because I saw at one point years ago, I saw him start following me on UFC, and out of all the people, he's not the first guy that I would thought Uncle Henaj going to be necessarily in his wheelhouse or whatever, you know?
Yes.
So I thought to myself, wow, this is interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
I get
chat
it.
a little bit with him. I go, and I've come to find out this guy have a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
And he's not like how you fucking think he is. I mean, yeah, of course, everybody when they fighting or when they playing sports or whatever is gonna have a scowl or whatever.
Right.
But he's not. So many people is not how you fucking think they're gonna be. It's funny. It's a funny lesson to learn about these guys here.
Well, and even for me, like I can't say that I completely thought he was like that, but like for me, like so that's the most time I've ever spent with him, really.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I've interviewed him at, media day type things or whatever in the past, and
That's also a different
ago, but yeah,
milieu, if you will.
It's a whole different milieu. And
Yeah.
also at those media days, people are tight and they're, cutting weight and,
Yeah, they don't want to hear
shit. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
But I've always been such a fan of the way he fights. And it's like, how can this guy not be cool? You can't fight like that and not be cool.
Well, I could see him, like before I got to know him, I could see him, hey, great fighter, but I could see him being like a hard ass who's no nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see him
right.
being,
He could have been, and honestly, you're right. You're right because looking at Matt, you're right. You're right. He could be a different guy. You're right.
Yeah,
he could be a different guy. But
I mean, how many salad dressing puns and fucking things can one person sit through? And he didn't bristle at one of them.
By the way, I agree with you. Somewhere a couple generations back, someone's black in Matt Brown's family.
Somebody
I think
is in
so.
there.
Like I think so.
Listen, you'd be surprised. So many fucking people that you have no idea when they get those 23.
There's something about. I feel like you might be right on that one.
That southern shit. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Well, he's from Ohio. Is that southern?
Yeah. But we got into this.
Oh, you said that whole gummo thing with the whole bit.
But we got into this because even aside from the Ohio thing, it's like I on my old podcast, I said to him, I said, listen, everybody I know from Ohio sounds like they're from fucking Chicago or whatever. They're like, hey, my mom and my dad and salad dressing,
Right.
I said, how the fuck? You sound like nobody. I said, you sound like, I told him, I said, you sound like the guy from his Slingy Blade. And he still didn't know what that sound. Yeah.
Such an amazing movie too, which I can't believe he's never seen.
French fried gators. Yeah, he would love that.
Press junket for that. I love that movie.
Listen, first of all, even though you did the press junket, I still love that movie.
Oh wow! I just dropped my earbud. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking.
No, please help yourself to leaning down and picking that one up.
Breast is.
Look at those breasts.
That's what it sounds like when my boob runs across the mic.
You put some jojoba oil on that one. Oh God.
I actually really need to tinkle because my.
I'm gonna tell you something. This has nothing to do because I'm not into water sports. But before you said you was gonna chinkle, I was gonna say you look lovely tonight. You look fetching.
Thank you.
I mean, like pretty, sexy, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Renato.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna call a spade a mulatto or whatever.
I was gonna say you don't usually come up off the compliment, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, listen, you never know when you're gonna die, and then I'm gonna go. Well, I should have said that. She looked kind of like I wouldn't mind. Like I wouldn't kick her. Yeah, she looked kind of not to the curb, toe down to the floor or whatever, toe back to the flow up or whatever.
Hey, by the way, for those who don't know. You and if they missed it last week, we had Kelvin Gastelum on.
Wow!
And if you haven't, you shared on your Insta a nice little clip of you and KG. Speaking of looking fly.
Yeah, where I was looking, not too shabby or whatever, if I don't say so myself. And another great fucking guest, Calvin Gash. He's another person that don't behave like you think he's gonna behave.
I don't know. So KG was our guest last week. Oh, that reminds me, Renato.
KG is totally different than I imagine him to be.
He's such a
before we ever had him on the show. He's not at all what I imagined him to be, and in a good way. I thought I thought he's gonna be way more serious. True, I didn't know he's gonna have that kind of sense of humor.
Kelvin has a great sense of humor. No, I was gonna say, you remind me, and I really do probably need to run to.
No, go do that. I make you a deal because my eyeballs is flooding too.
Oh, okay.
So you do that, and then you pay back the favor.
Okay, I'll pay the favor. No, I was just gonna say, but so in terms of UFC 288 this weekend. Yeah. Some of the folks that are fighting this weekend have been on our show before. So Aljamain Sterling, he appeared with Merab early on. Mm-hmm. It's really funny. Mm-hmm. So if you go back to episode 3, like we had Biggie Boy on, and then those guys come in later. So
that's that far away. Episode
Dorino 3. Gilbert Burns is on episode 65, and Drew Dober is episode 31. Yeah. And I will be right back. But those are some episodes with the former guests. And you guys know that like when we have people on, it's not just about like your upcoming fight. So we always talk about a bunch of other things that are like evergreen and life story stuff. So like just because the show is old doesn't mean you won't find cool stuff about Drew Dober in it. You know what I mean?
Look, we talked about Italian dressing on this one. I'll be right back. Okay, go ahead. Okay, let's see. Now that mommy is gone, let's see what we're gonna get into here. Someone said zoom down to the chest, KB. I agree. Let us to live. Let us to live. Yeah, Chitty SMH. We must be behind because you guys are still talking about chitties, unless you guys are still stuck on that. Come on with some good stuff before mom come back, before the chicha come back. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, I don't see nothing. Wow. Maybe I'm gonna say my inner monologue. Yeah. Let's look at the stuff that's in KB's stuff here. She put everything has been. Make no mistake, everything is there on purpose here. She have one thing that have her own fucking name on there. She have an old bottle of fucking wine over there, a bottle of Hippo, some dry flower arrangement, some signed stuffs from Red Hot Chili Pepper. She looked like there's some Jerry Curl juice drip on the back of that fucking wool chair or whatever. Then we got some kind of lanyards that she probably had to do all kind of stuff to get those to get backstage. Let's see what we got here. Okay, now we got some stuff. Spit or swallow? That's a question for fucking KB.
Hello.
Hey. Okay. A lot of what? Huh?
What's up? No, I just was making sure my settings were correct.
Oh, hey, listen. You keep them entertained.
Now it's your turn. Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna talk to the old chatty ball man. He's calling me.
Okay. Yeah. No, I will. I'm just double checking because I've noticed on some of these things that sometimes when we step away and then we come back, that sometimes the settings change. So anyway, hey, listen, what is it? You guys, what were you guys? Oh, the Lakers and all that. It's interesting. I don't know if you guys. It's funny. I haven't been watching the playoffs as well. But as I mentioned before, with hockey, I am from Boston, and I did not watch necessarily round one of the playoffs. But I was like, wait, how are the Bruins eliminated? And they have the most wins, right, for any team in regular season play. So that's kind of tough. But that is one of those things. And I actually, back in the day, helped start a girls' hockey team at my high school. KB is pretty amazing. So yes, that for those of you who think that chocolate people can't skate, you are wrong. I know how to ice skate, and I actually start the girls' hockey team at my old high school. So that is pretty cool. Hey, one thing that I wanted to say, and it is quite sad, but I meant to mention it at the beginning of the show. But Felipe Colares passed away. He is a former UFC fighter, and he was fighting in Aries, 29 years old, and apparently he had been on his way home from training, was hit by a bus, and the emergency services that were there were unable to save him. So it is really, really incredibly sad. The last time he had fought in the UFC had been in February of 2017, but he was only 29 years old. And so it is a real shame. So I wanted to mention that and just say may he rest in peace, and really wish, his family the best, because that is really, really unbelievably tragic. Very, very sad. But then also in some other MMA news, so some of the things that we had mentioned during the interview with Matt is that, ONE FC is having a fight card this Friday in Denver. And I know it's real sad. It's real sad, Jay Crockett. It really is. Well, hey, listen. Sorry. I got a Britain says, okay. No, Renato, I was just saying, rest in peace to your countryman, Felipe Colares, who you had heard. It's such a sad thing. It's such a sad thing. So sad. So sad.
We also lost tonight. We lost Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot from Canada. That's right. I did hear some Gordon Lightfoot, Sundown, you better take
That's a good one. That's the best one. But there's also, if I could save time in the bottle. You remember?
Sundown,
that's a good one. But you remember? If I could save time
in a bottle. The first thing that
I used to be on
do
all those easy listening, buy the cassette.
is to save every day.
But Sundown, that's the hardest one. Sundown.
To the life I'm waiting for you. Is Gordie Howe dead as well? Because one of the guys I used to work with was talking a sportscaster, and I guess he was like, "Oh, both our Gordies are gone." He's Canadian, so I thought that meant, did Gordie Howe die a while back?
Well, I
too?
don't know.
Well, anyway.
He was talking about Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy.
Wait, now, so what was I gonna say? Oh, I had an idea too. I've always forget to tell you this. So many times in between shows, I will find something that just stick in my craw.
Yes.
Like one of those things like this really grind my gears.
Yes, tell me about it and we can bring it up here on the show.
Well, so, and I was thinking maybe we can address the thing, one or two stuffs that really grind our gears and we need to get out the word out to the people that need to be eliminate that stuff.
So what we could do is I could put a post up on the Fistivities IG page or something that's like a what's grinding your gears type thing, and people could put in the comments and then we could address it on the show.
Yeah, and also I'll put it to you this way. There's some stuffs that I see in the comments that just come up all the fucking chimey in just comments on social media. And it just make me hold my eyes and I just go, do people need to be told knock off this because it's so cliche and so fucking dumb, and can we hitchhire some? I wish we could hitchhire a couple of these saying the cliche on fucking comments, and two of them is this.
Okay, yes.
People think they're the first person who ever said this, but something happens where someone gets their just desserts or whatever, something happens to somebody who deserve it or whatever. And then inevitably you're going to see this comment: play stupid game, win stupid prizes. If I see that one more time, I'm going to, it's like,
But how do you feel about F around and find out? Because I never get tired of F around and find out.
Just say that because that makes sense. That one is just that's a tried and true. But this play stupid game, I don't know when it came in, but it's overused.
You're not a fan?
It's overused. It makes me, every time I hear it, I go, say something else. I don't know. I just can't stand it. I'm like, one day it just came in and I'm like, shut the fuck up with the play stupid game. Just come up with something more original or something. I'm just like,
right.
It just don't even, I don't know. What
I get you. Yeah, that one doesn't bother me, but I know what you're saying.
It just drives me crazy.
I know what you're saying, and I've seen it, and I get it. Because I guess for me, it's like you may as well just say F around and find out.
Yeah, say that one. The other
Because I
that's
never
true.
get tired
That's
of seeing
simple.
that meme.
That's simple and to the point. But the
Like,
play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like it came one day and then it never went away, and I'm like, oh God, this one is. We're gonna keep this one, and then
yeah, you're like, this is saying.
the other one is an old one that I used to not mind at all.
Well,
Didn't
this
bother
person,
me. Well,
yeah, Miss Marshall McStarts is saying dudes that grew their beards out, and the ones that say literally, like at everything, like literally, and then the ones who misuse literally. That is a thing that some people do.
Fair enough. I don't love that one.
This person, Timbo's getting sick of people going, oh, you're just hanging out writing text from your mom's basement. This one's sick.
Yeah, that's an unimaginative one. But here's my other one that it used to be normal and it didn't bother me. It feels like in the past year or two, people just somehow the whole world just found out the phrase living hemp free in your head.
In your head, yes. Everybody says it all the time.
People overuse that shit to the point where it like every fucking kind. Oh, hemp free. Oh, he's living hemp free. Or this hemp free. I'm like, did everyone just found that one out? Like that's the oldest shit in the book, and it's like, settle the fuck down with this. It's like it reminded me. You remember when like Austin Power came out, and everybody's doing the Austin Power? It's like, guys. It's not fucking new. It's not unique. Like, shut the fuck up with the hemp free. It's like, you beating a dead horse with the hemp free, Karyn.
Right.
Just let that one last for a minute, Karyn.
Right.
It's getting so beating it to death.
Yeah, and I'm glad, and I shouldn't even mention it because it'll probably come back. But for years, and even still up until I would say a few months ago, I would still see things that said, you're really good at reading the teleprompter. And it's from like a thing that Bisping said on the air years ago. And like the social media team, gee, thanks, like took it and shared it. And everybody saw him just like crapping all over me. And Michael and I are great friends, by the way. Like
so here's the difference though with that.
I love him. But so for years, people would give me the refrain that Michael said to me, and I'm like, haha, that's so original. Wow.
Okay, but in this instance, this is a different situation because this is laser focused onto you, and the only reason people do it is they know that if they go, oh, KB, we love you, or we love seeing you stuff, that you're very less likely to respond. But they know goddamn well if they say that one thing, they're at least going to get you to acknowledge their existence.
It's infuriating and it's so rude.
But it's better than being invisible.
We don't have a teleprompter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not what it's about. It's about, I want so bad for her to respond to me and make me live again. You know what I mean?
Right. Give me some shine for a moment. Right. Like acknowledge my presence. Acknowledge.
You know how what's his name in Big Trouble in Little China? David Lopan. He needed to have a woman with green eyes or whatever in order to be Flash again. Well, in order to be Flash again.
Okay.
But now in order to be Flash, they need you to respond, even if it's negative. Otherwise, they're like a hologram. You understand?
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck it. I'm gonna bet that saying something, the one thing she cannot stand.
Tired and stupid and pointless and dumb.
I know. They have. Listen, there's a few Hanach chestnuts that people, and I've just learned not to react to them because.
No, I know, and it's so dumb. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of things, Hanach.
Yeah.
A couple of directions we can go because it's already almost 9:00 here, which is kind of wild. Because Matt stayed with us for a while, which is awesome. But we have Chidi's choice for Sterling versus Cejudo. We have
before this. Hold on, we just the fans. Wow. Apparently, I got a lot of fans on fucking Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, apparently, this one, Timbo saying classic movie.
But a lot of, they're talking about the Pork Chop Express.
Big Trouble in Little China is classic.
It's all in the heat flexes.
Best film ever.
Listen, I'm a very reasonable guy, okay? What is it, Jan or whatever? But I just seen some very fucking unreasonable shit. Listen, it's all in the he flexes.
Oh my god!
I love that character. Fucking love Kurt
Fire
Hustle.
in my loins after sleeping with Debbie from the bar really grinds my gears. Is
that happens? That happens, my brother. That's you. At least you had your fun.
Oh, I don't know if that's a line from the movie. I don't know.
I don't remember that. I've seen that movie a lot of times. I don't remember the. I remember a lot of other stuff in that. Oh, that movie is like no other.
Nice.
The Pork Choppy Express. I love my favorite moment is when
I just don't. Is that
David it's Carpenter. Yeah, it's Kurt Hustle for sure.
Yeah, I love.
And it's John Carpenter.
Big Kurt Russell fan.
It is his best. I remember
the movie. It's dark
best.
and I remember a lot of like sort of those dark nights where there's like the street is steaming and there's a blue lit street. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
there's all that kind of stuff in this shit underground. There's a lot of fantastical shit. But the main beautiful thing about it is the way the script is constructed is that the hero is completely fucking inept, and the sidekick, the Asian guy, is really the hero. And the guy that would normally be the hero is not great at what he does, but he fucking has a big ego. I don't know anybody like that. But he have a big ego and he think he's a little slicker than he really is, and he's fucking unbelievable. And one of the best time is when they're about to get out of the fucking underground layer or whatever, and he's like, look, he gives them all this fucking like, okay, you stay behind me. He's like, follow the leader or whatever. And he opens up the fucking thing and there's all the guys, like, there's like 10,000 fucking guys with like bats and swords and guns and stuff. And they're like right there. And then he closes, he's like, we may be trapped or whatever. Anyway, that fucking movie, it's one of the funniest.
And who did you say directed?
John Carpenter. Oh, look at that. Well, once again, we buy ourselves again. Let's talk about. I
don't know why I keep hitting that button.
I don't know why you fucking do that either.
By the way, I love that you're Patrick Ewing. I just realized what you're.
Well, the Knicks won tonight, so I had to give them some respect.
Did they?
Yeah, Egg Shen, the fucking 6 demon bag. Okay, sorry, I'm nerding out with the fans about.
All right, okay. So somebody says
Egg Shen.
Beetle Jesse says Cejudo for the win. So why don't I just go and show Chidi's choice for this weekend for the main event.
Sahidi's choice.
We'll get Chidi's choice for Aljo versus Cejudo. Let's check it out. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chidi's Choice. Today, the Fistivities bearded dragon mascot is choosing the UFC 288 main event between the champ Aljamain Sterling and the former champ Triple C Henry Cejudo. What we do is we put Chidi down in front of a couple of piles of arugula, but first we randomize the names. Put one here, one here. On the arugula, we put Chidi down, and he makes his choice. Okay, well, he has gone over to the left.
I don't think I've ever seen him make a beeline for the left that quick.
Right? Yeah. He went over to the right again. Okay.
Well, you didn't separate. Wait a second. To be fair,
past, this has led to some. Actually, that's how we got a tie in one of ours. Okay. He believes, if I could open this, this looks like this says Cejudo. Okay, so he chose Cejudo. And then he went over to the Aljo pile. But
I think this wasn't his fault.
We shall see.
I barely see a division in the arugula. You put the fucking arugula right next to each other. It's like you're trying to cause some trouble.
No, I'm not trying to cause trouble. It's just that if you can't.
What?
He's kind of finicky sometimes.
I understand he's finicky, but here's the thing: you're trying to use Jamaican voodoo to influence the outcome of the fight, and I think that's a violation.
Marshall McSardis says draw. Omega says draw.
Well, put all your bet the farm on a draw.
I mean, here's the thing. I think.
Come again?
That's how we got the draw before, because that's what he did before. He's done that before. If it ends up being at Sterling, it ends up being a draw. I'm just telling you. Maybe I can hear an echo. You should turn your volume down, maybe.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't hear it, but okay.
Oh, I'm hearing an echo when I talk to you.
Ask the people, because I think that's the best.
Does anybody hear an echo? I just want to make sure this sounds as good for everybody as it can. I hear a little bit of an echo, but if not, then don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. Well, so anyway, at this point, that's the thing. I'm not sure what you're thinking about the fights this weekend, but, Henry Cejudo is coming back. We haven't seen him fighting for 3 years. He retired after he defeated Dominic Cruz. And, obviously he is not only a Golden Gloves boxer, but, won the Olympic gold medal in wrestling, won the flyweight title, and won the bantamweight title. That's why the triple C's there. And he does say he wants to come back and win this and then also take the 45 title and be C4.
Well, listen, first of all, I'm gonna say that I'm very excited to have him back. I didn't understood why he fucking quit in the first place, because he was killing it and he's always exciting. And even though he may be cringeworthy, whatever, he's always brings some excellent fights. Now I'm torn again because these is two guys that I know personally. So and both have been very accommodating to me, and whenever I needed them for shit or whatever. So, I don't really have a dog in this one because I like both the guys. I would feel bad to hoot against one of them. So I just hope it's one for the ages. That's my main concern, that they both, I would love for it to be a dog fight and maybe one guy edge out, but then the other guy still look good or something like that,
Well, he stepped away because he wanted to start a family.
Oh, what a fucking great reason for that. What a genius idea.
So, this is a guy who had been a competitor basically all his life, and he was tired. And
I'm tired too.
He'd achieved everything there was to achieve at the time and really wanted to start a family. And so that's why he stepped away. So he started a family. He has that now.
Listen, I've ended a lot of family. And I still continue to do, to bring great quality entertainment to the people. And I've achieved everything that anybody could ever wildest dreams could conceive.
I'm just telling you.
And I still bring that one.
I'm just telling you what Henry said.
Wow.
And so now he's back though, and like I said, he wants to go for the 45 strap as well. And
you're just telling us what Henry said, huh? You know who else told us what Henry said? Was just telling that Hitler.
Oh my God! Are you talking Goebbels?
Yeah, Goebbels. All that one.
Oh my God!
Who's the other?
Hey,
Mengele?
but no, listen. So I know you're saying you don't necessarily have a dog in the fight, and I agree with you. Like, I know both these guys. I like both these guys, but I mean, Aljamain Sterling walks in with the Jamaican flag. Everybody knows my mom is Jamaican. So I told you I have for the Aljo. There's the flag. I mean, for me, it's hard not to be rooting for Aljo, but I'm a fan of Triple C. I like him. He's a good dude, like you said, cringeworthy or whatever. It's an act. It's for the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not really that guy. He's cool.
Yeah. I mean, here, look. Basically, it's like this. As soon as the fight start, I know that my heart is gonna choose somebody. Like it always happens. Somehow something happened where I click in and I start hooting for one. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I would never say out loud whoever that ends up being, because I would feel bad to hurt one of them feeling, because, I like both these guys, and I got to see these guys and go, hey, sorry, guy, I was holding against you. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, I mean, in this one, it's like everybody's got their allegiances and stuff like this, and I can just be like, oh, well, yeah, I got to root for the Jamaican kid. But you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. I do. I really like Henry, and I'm glad he's back. And that's the whole thing is, he's got the family, he's got the thing going on now. So if he gets the competitive fire to come back and throw down for a while, that's exciting.
Well, now he sees the heel, all the Santa. There's no more Santa Claus. As soon as he have a couple years of changing those diapers and the nose and all that kind of stuff, he just wants to
go back and get.
And he go like this. Oh God, I had it fucking made. He go, what the fuck was I just doing?
Oh God, is that what you think?
Yeah, and also, you know how much money he's looking at his bank account. He's going, oh God, I better get out there and start
Yeah,
fighting.
I got to get out there because
Yeah.
these babies. Okay, hey, listen. So I feel like a lot of people are betting against Bully B.
Is that her?
Gilbert has a lot of momentum, but Gilbert has, Bully has wins over Sean Brady and Damian Maia.
Listen, this is anybody who's counting out Bilal don't know shit. I mean, period. They just, I don't know. You can't be a student of the UFC and think that this guy is a pushover for anybody.
Yeah, I think it's, an unfortunate case where people maybe aren't a fan of his, personality or background or whatever, and they
nevertheless,
and they project that onto his fighting, because it's like he's really good. He's beaten people that people are mad that he's beaten. He beat Wonder Boy and all that. Everyone's like, wait, what? You need to take him seriously.
He's the last fucking guy anybody wants to fight because he don't have that household name, and he's just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than any fucking body else. So it's a fucking lose. I mean, the news that you gotta, oh yeah, we'll give you a title shot. All you gotta do is just beat Bilal Muhammad. You're like, oh fuck. It's not fun. I don't think Gilbert. The only thing Gilbert is looking forward to in this is okay. It's my ticket to the fucking strap,
to the show, right?
Aside from that, it's like exhausting. You get that news and you go, fine. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, because you gotta, right, going into it, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a lot of work. You gotta train your butt off. You gotta and you just fought. I mean, that's the thing. On the one hand, you could argue that Gilbert has a lot of momentum, and that's really working toward him. On the flip side, you could argue that he's fighting too frequently.
Well, listen, I also wouldn't put it past Gilbert to win this shit either. But I'm just saying, totally for anybody to just think. Out. Oh, for sure. I mean, anything could happen in this one, and this is why it's a fight that I want to see. I just don't think. Listen, I don't think anybody. In fact, it's funny. I think Gilbert is the same way. I don't think people look forward to fighting Gilbert.
No way.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's God dang it, what? Burns?
Yeah, and I think that they're getting a false sense of security because now he looked like a manchichi. So they think, oh, look how cute with the little afro.
The little cabbage patch.
Look at that afro. And then
he doesn't look as scary, but guess what? He's still same punches, still same takedowns, still same jiu-jitsu.
You remember Manchichi?
Monchichi? Yes.
The Manchichi was like a little guy, little figures. They have like a little afro. Yeah. They look like a cross between a little creature and a human being or whatever with a little natural little afro.
Mm-hmm.
He looked
like that one. Those will be good fights.
And the song you go, Manchichi, Manchichi, Manchichi. It was something like that. Anyway, enough about Manchichi. I don't remember the song. Well, you was deprived.
I don't remember the song. Hey, but speaking of Gilbert and speaking of the welterweights, Usman was saying he wouldn't mind fighting Chimaev because then he's like, oh, and then we can basically say that's like a title eliminator. You know what I mean? And so, but then we don't know if Khamzat's going to be fighting at 85 or 70. So,
I mean, yeah, well, I'm open to all that stuff. Listen, it's easy for me. All I got to do is watch that one.
Exactly.
I don't got to train or nothing. Well,
exactly.
I think we provided a lot of quality content for the people.
Monchichi, oh so soft and cuddly.
See, I'm not the only one. And tell me his hair don't look like a fucking Monchichi.
Afro Gilbert is a new mythical fighter, I done goofed.
He have a soft afro, not unlike your Uncle Hanach when I was like 3 years old. I had an afro.
Hey, I have one thing I want to ask you about before we get out of here.
Oh, God, you can't. No, okay, go ahead. What?
Maybe you and our guests, our fans would have ideas.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait a second. What the fuck is happening here?
I didn't mean to do that. So a just this.
Oh fuck! I've seen this cat before. I've seen this fucking one. I love that cat.
Okay, so it says "got a cat" for those obviously who are just listening. It's a picture of a cat, and it says "got a cat, needs a name, serious suggestions only." And the cat around the nose area, its little whiskers area, and then right up in between its nose is literally like the perfect outline of like a male genitalia. It's hilarious.
Oh, is that what you saw? I saw the shuttle, space shuttle or whatever. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, listen.
You saw the shuttle taking off with the dust, with a cloud of exhaust.
Exactly. What are you thinking about? No, but I seen the comments in this fucking thing. It has like 70 million comments, or at least the original one. Because that one's been around for a while. And it's like, every time you think you're going to come up, because I sit there, I want to come up with one that make everybody laugh. So I'm sitting thinking, and then the more you go through it, you go, all of the fucking things, anything you could think of is taken. I can't,
because it's always like Dickie and Richard. There's all this dick stuff and like, whatever. I didn't even try to come up with a name. I just think it's hilarious.
No, it's good. It's a good one. I remember that one. I like that one. I might have even posted before at some point.
Oh, really?
Because it's been around for literally over 10 years. I've been seeing that cat.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
That dick face cat. Yeah. Dick. There was some good ones and I can't even remember them now.
Well, I'm sure some people have probably got creative with like the P word and the D, you know what I mean?
There's been literally anything you could think of because it's been around so long and people just like... And there were some laugh out loud ones, and I just can't even remember. Sometimes there's so many clever ones, and you go, "How come I didn't thought of that?" You know, and that gives me faith in humanity. Sometimes I see one, and I go, "Okay, there's still some good people out there."
Dude, you can sometimes still get a legit belly laugh on Twitter. What was I looking at the other day? I was on the flight. I had just sat down on my flight home from Vegas the other morning. God dang it! I wish I could remember what it was. And I saw something on Twitter or whatever, and I couldn't stop laughing. And it was like somebody was getting roasted or somebody was something, and it was some meme or whatever, and I couldn't stop laughing. And whoever the people are next to me don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm dying.
Listen, I all the time I come across some shit like that, and it's, to me, the comment, I go straight to the fucking cut.
Right.
Especially if it's something if it's one of those ones that you like, if you ever have the thing like, I'm going to go to hell for laughing at this, if you look in the comments of those kind, you'll never be disappointed. You'll be like, that's where the heel gold is.
Because everybody knows, everybody's...
Because you're like...
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think this is so wrong. You could be surprised. You go in there and you could think, oh, you know what? Go fuck yourself. You know what? How dare you? Or whatever, you know?
People are doubling down.
But... then you see, you go, oh no, there's others like me out there. It's like that movie, I Am Legend. Like you think you're the only last one, and then you look, oh God, there's still some out there.
So many other people that are so bad and so going to hell. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, yeah, I mean, there was a couple of other things we could get to, but I know we also been going for a minute.
We can save that one for our next time. We gave them so much, and we gave them extra long match brown, Karyn.
Yes, we did give extra long.
You're setting yourself up for. Don't do this.
Listen, no, I agree. Hey, so I just had mentioned to people before. I did an interview with Chatri from One FC, One Championship. He
Chachi? I thought he was from. You mean also from
Chachi.
From Happy Days or whatever?
No. Chatri.
Oh, Chatri.
Yes. And so he.
From Sitio Dong.
Yeah, Chatri Sitio Dong. Chatri, the One Championship has a fight on Friday in Denver. Mighty Mouse is fighting, and Mighty Mouse was saying it might be his last fight.
Oh shit!
So this is going to be on Amazon Prime, and it's taking place in the United States. So it's on.
Oh shit! Oh yeah.
So Chachi and I, we talk all about it. It's like a half-hour interview. It's great. He's a real cool guy. So people should definitely check it out.
Listen, Johnny love Chatri. Nah, whatever.
But yeah, and also like we said, some of the people that are fighting this weekend have been prior guests of ours. And also they should go back and look at last week with KG, because Kelvin Gastelum talks all about, going back down to 170 pounds and training with Triple C. So we talk a lot about Cejudo on the show as well. And obviously Henry is fighting this weekend. So
all the good stuff.
And people should also be reminded that this show is available as audio downloads as well. So you can find us on Stitcher, on Amazon, on Apple Podcasts, and on, I always forget this.
Spotify.
And so, 4 places. And then also we are on Renato's Twitch. We are on YouTube, Karyn Bryant. We are on Fistivities.com. And this was episode 80. So I know a lot of people, Renato, speaking of things we don't like to see on internet, things they're tired of. Oh, crap. Bring back the show. Gee, Renato, I sure do miss your show. Hey, Hanach, when are you going to do another show? And I'm like, mother crackers.
Well,
what the F do you think this is?
God,
what do you think?
People have Hanach fever.
What is this?
Listen, this call...
We only exist in 60 to 2 minute sound bites. Like, we get together and we get an awesome guest on for a 60-second clip. Like, what the actual F?
You ever heard of yellow fever or scarlet fever? These people have Laranja fever, okay? And the only thing that can quell that one is more Hanach Laranja.
You're here, though. I don't understand.
Listen.
I even put your name in the title, so it's not like they can't find it.
Chuck, tell me about it. I can be with a woman, okay? I can be with a woman at my house. And then she can start going, look, you like the comment on this Instagram, or I can't believe you did this or whatever that. And I go, look, who I'm with here. Who I'm with you now, here. I said, yeah, I like that woman bending over and doing that acrobatics or whatever the fuck she's doing, but she's not here right now. I'm here with you, Karyn.
Right.
And that's the problem, is they thinking like that, and they need to realize, and you need to realize, never mind with all the noise and stuff. Who I'm with here?
No, you're here right now. I get it.
And you feel, Karyn.
Okay.
Yes, you want to know the truth?
Thank you for making me your Tuesday night.
Listen,
girl.
Let me tell you something. You want to know the fucking truth? Yes, we fucked. Yes, I fucked her. I make love to you. And if you're gonna let a fuck come between our love, then there's something really wrong going on
really
here.
Wrong with you. That's on you. You need to investigate. You need to look inward. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you for making me your Tuesday night girl, Renato. I do appreciate it.
Your work is better than no nights, okay? And there's a lot of people who would probably die and give up their left feet to get that one. So just think about that one next time you're about to mouth off and complain about some stuff or whatever. And think about positive thinking. Don't think that how little Hanach you have in your life. Think about how much positive one you have.
I got enough Renato, actually. I got the right amount.
You Hanach positive right now. You cash. What do you call it? Cash
something cash poor rich.
Yeah, because you could be Hanach poor, like a lot of other people is out here.
See, this one says, "I love his ladies' man shtick." We know he doesn't get laid.
Oh. This is true. Who on earth would ever want to have who do you know that likes shit like this? Look. Okay. Look at that way the shimmer and the baby browns there.
Oh gosh. Oh hey, this person. Can I ask you one thing, Renato? Because I did promise we were going to talk about this, and then we never did.
Yeah.
Did you watch Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry? This was Luke.
Okay,
it says Luke Rockhold got his teeth punched in this weekend. Why retire them? Fight immediately, only to lose.
Well,
that fight was brutal. I was watching that. Me, Alan, and Chiesa. We watched that after work.
So I only saw the highlights. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. Remember, I said on paper or just the eye chest, it looks like Rockhold should smash the dog shit out of him, right? I was
like, no, he can't kick him. He can't.
Yeah, but the problem is, I seen him be able to stand toe to toe with MVP, with Michael Venom Page. So after that happened, I was like, at least in BKFC, I'm never gonna I'm never gonna assume that he's not gonna win because he's figured out something there. Because I thought he was gonna get his fucking head caved in by MVP.
Right.
Now, Grant, I still feel like MVP won that fight, but the fact that it was even fucking competitive was shocking to me. So I have to give a lot of fucking credit to that kid. He seems to be meant for that style, that whatever you want to call it, promotion.
I agree. I think Mike is totally made for BKFC, and you would have thought that Luke, with his reach and all that, should have been able, like, if he could have just, like, worked the jab and the straight right, like, you would have thought he could pepper him all night or something like that, but he couldn't.
It's just a different animal.
It is, and that's 3 in a row for Mike Perry over at BKFC, and then Connor got in the in the ring after.
That was fun that he was able. You know what? There seems to be like a kind of. There's something very recently with Conor McGregor, and I could be wrong. It seems like he's kind of like opening up a little or letting go of some. He seems like a more magnanimous version of himself or something.
Yeah,
he said some nice stuff about Michael Chandler. I mean, something's different. Something he must have had an epiphany about something. He's being nicer or something. I don't know what's going on.
I know what you're saying, and I agree. I feel like I've seen some things. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's been a shift in. I don't know if he's a good or bad, but I mean, might not be good for his fighting, but
or if it's calculated, or what the reasoning is, or what the yeah. But I see you're saying he's a little bit more magnanimous with complimenting other people, where in the past he might have never given too many compliments out.
And less of a hair trigger or something, like, I don't know. It just seems like he's.
I mean, what does the dude have to be mad about? Like, life's pretty.
No, I know, but in the past, it seemed like he's headed to fucking, like.
I know.
Any second, and it seemed like he's kind of like something's going where maybe he seemed happier or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You got a
maybe since
wife,
Apple
you got
flavor,
a beautiful family, you got cash, you got what are you mad at?
Ever since Apple flavor fucking proper number 12 came out, he's fucking proper number 12, apple green apple fucking sourpuss. Oh fuck.
I would like to go back to Ireland. I went to years
I'll give you
ago.
Ireland.
I would like to go back. I really had a good time there. I really liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You'll have a good time here with I'll put another notch on Michele, and I'll pour apple flavor fucking proper 12 over you afro.
Dance the F out of there. Where can people...
No. Oh no, God, no. The river dance don't work on me, but I'm immune to that one. Moon Hiver. You're gonna be singing Moon Hiver
Aaron,
instead.
go brah. Aaron,
Yeah, you're gonna go Moon Hiver. Oh God.
Hey, Anach, where can the peoples find you on the socials?
Well, if you've been living under a hawk, you can find me on Renato_Laranja, and I urge you to follow that one and to tell your friends, your family, your mommy, your daddy, anybody in your life, your children, everybody, follow that one, and send maybe some love offerings, the money, whatever, kind of pay for whatever exclusive content that I don't have. But whatever, badges, whatever. I don't even understand half that shit, but send a badge or something.
We got the LOL Shillelagh jokes.
I mean...
What other show gives you Shillelagh jokes?
Listen,
really,
the funny thing is, Matt I'm not
Brown
joking about that.
And Shillelagh jokes and fight predictions.
Listen, you came to the high place, Karyn.
I mean, who else is delivering this kind of quality content for free?
And who else is a better looking duo in the history of MMA?
Have you seen some of these people that cover MMA?
Also, have you seen us? Oh, God. Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's so mean.
Whatever. Fuck those people. Listen, okay, let's say it in a positive way. I hope those people die. No, I hope those people live in hell for eternity. That's a nice way to put it.
Okay. You're reminding me of something that I saw on, I forget the dude's name, but the dude's literally in Congress, and he's talking about passing a bill. It's I hate to say it, Republican guy, and he goes, blah 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 blah. You know why we bombed so and so? Because they threw homosexuals off the building. We bombed them because they hate homosexuals more than we do. And then it was like there's some people in the audience are like he literally said more than we do. Like you shouldn't.
What about that's interesting? Well,
right?
Hey,
so he's like they hate them more than we do, and it was like, bro,
maybe he's using reverse psychology.
It was like, and so there's all these reactions of people going.
That's an interesting way to go about it, Karyn. Well, he's got his priorities straight.
Oops. Yeah.
Oops. He'll be fine. Don't worry. He's gonna be fine.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll be.
He's gonna have plenty of fans.
I'm sure he's
okay.
Fine.
Well.
So Renato, by the way, yes. Where can people? I mean, you said where they can find you. What do you have coming up? Do you have seminars? Do you have any? Are you calling any jiu-jitsu tournaments? What are you doing?
I'll say the stuff that I always say is follow Yonko Renato on Instagram, and I'm never gonna steer you home. You're gonna find out first from the horse's mouth what's happening here. Okay.
All right.
Because here we're beating a dead horse to death.
Nice. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
And, I'm home. I got a couple weeks off, and then I'm back in Vegas. But thank you so much for joining us. This was episode 81. So that means there's plenty of other episodes that you can check out. If you are watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe. I put out a lot of other kind of MMA stuff. So like I said, I got an interview with Chatri this week. I'm going to talk to Cody Stamen, I think, on Friday. Got a few other interviews coming up. And like I have a bunch of older content, like, stuff from like just years and years. Just a lot of cool stuff. Like you could go to my channel and just spend a long time going down a rabbit hole looking at a lot of cool stuff there. And the other things that are from like my life, like at MTV and different things that are not even fight related. So a lot of cool stuff there. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna hike now. I'm gonna go hike there and start.
You're gonna go right now. Well, anyway, people, thank you so much for joining us, Renato. Thank you for joining us. Always nice
it was
to
nothing, Karyn. And
Always
I
nice
give
to
the
see
people
you.
a thrill. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, listen. Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. Every Tuesday night we do this, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and remember, it's also available for audio download. So hopefully you can check it out. Hanach, see you next time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao.
Thanks.
Ciao for now. Don't let the bed bug bite you on the ass. Yeah. I'll give you a bed bug. I'll give you a crabs.